Welcome back. My name is Kit.
My name's Madison.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Streaming Things. We're back together again. We're talking about Lost this time. But this is a show, if you're new, where we talk about all kinds of TV shows. We talk about all kinds of movies. All things TV and film are fair game here. We've done many shows before. This time we're lostaways, stuck on the island with the gang.
Big old lostaways.
This is the final episode, Exodus Part 3 of Season 1.
My goodness.
Episode 25.
We've made it.
It's taken 7 months.
God damn.
Only because there was a 4-month hiatus due to the SAG and WGA strikes.
Well, who knows because we did double up on some of these episodes. Maybe it would have taken us 6 months, 7 months.
Yeah, who knows?
Well,
if we adhered to the 1 episode a week policy,
it would have taken over 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But hey, that's how the show's dropped initially, baby.
We made it.
What you guys did the first time. But now we're in. We're going to talk about, we got some fun stuff planned out for you. There's some big announcements at the end as far as some of our 2024 slate, what our plans are in the short term for devout listeners to check out and get excited for. But this episode, we're going to do a scene-by-scene, play-by-play recap after our initial thoughts of the final episode of Season 1 of Lost. And then Steve's got some stats to go over.
Stats.
All of our most nominated.
You talking about the numbers?
Yeah,
the numbers. The stats. Over there, Steve.
They call him Stats McSteve.
Stats McSteve.
Or Statty Teve.
I like Stats McSteve.
And then what else do we got? We have some questions from the patrons that we're going to answer about the show and maybe make some predictions, Madison and I, for the future of the show.
I'll make some predictions.
Yeah. You're going to be spot on.
They're going to be all right.
Yeah. From the future.
I bet Arts comes back as a Force ghost and trains Shannon
with wrong
to be
info.
the ultimate killer.
That would be amazing.
Teaches her how to use dynamite.
Because he knows.
He knows.
She's got a lot to learn from Arts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for this. I'm a little sad. You know, it's been a long journey that we've been on. So let's just do it, I guess. Pull the Band-Aid off. Season 1 is behind us almost. Oh, no.
Oh.
Well, folks, what were your overall thoughts on this episode? How were you feeling now that it's all over? Season 1 is done and in the can. Madison, how you feeling?
It's interesting because we covered the last 3 episodes, coupling episodes 23 and 24 as one, and then having episode 25 as its own thing for the purpose of the show. But in how they rank on, is it Lostopedia or whatever? They say that, was it episode 23 was number 7, but they coupled 24 and 25. Personally, I wish they didn't do that because I feel like of the 3, 24 was my favorite, and 25 is probably my second favorite. Well, I would say 25 and 23 are pretty equal in terms of like my favorites of the final 3 episodes. I had a really good time with episode 25. I mean, not to diminish like how cool and great this last episode was, because I think it left a lot of cliffhangers. We got a lot of crazy scenes out of this episode. And it was, I mean, I had a good time. But I think as far as like, I think it's the emotional capital that 24 had over me, whereas 25 didn't really have as much like emotional weight as 24 did. So that's kind of why it went down in some points for me. But as far as like the last episode of this very long season, I thought it was pretty great, and it got me hyped to watch season 2. So I'm excited to continue on and watch season 2 after this.
Steve.
So I'm way more interested to see how the two of you perceive this episode. Like, I loved hearing that from Madison because I know how the season ends. This whole time I knew how the season ends, and it ends on a pretty huge cliffhanger. And so my worry was going into this whole endeavor was like, oh, they're going to get into it. We're going to watch all these episodes and then we're going to get to the cliffhanger. Like, what's in the goddamn hatch? Still don't know. And so I was very worried that you guys would watch this last episode and be like, fuck the show. I'm so mad. I don't want to deal with it anymore. The mysteries of the island are not being revealed quick enough for me. I want off this ride. As far as me personally, this specific episode, Exodus Part 2, but really Part 3, when you look at the context of how we're covering it, I think Part 3 is the weakest of the 3 episodes. I just don't feel like most of the emotional connections I have with the characters happened in the previous 2 episodes. Not saying this episode is bad by far. I think it's very good. It does have that, to speak to Madison's point, like when this episode ends, you're like, oh, I got to start watching season 2 right now, which I'm really excited to see what you get when you start season 2. Like it starts off really, really well. Just throwing that out there.
Yay.
I just think there's just something missing here. I don't know where to put I don't know quite what it is, but there's some sort of emotional heft, some stakes. Like the episode 23, when it starts off, it's like, we're moving. There's danger. It's coming. We gotta go. Things are happening. And then when this season ends, it's just kind of like, none of the things happened. The others didn't come. We were they were coming. They have not come yet. We don't know what's in the hatch. It does kind of end in a very big question mark. Where if I was watching this episode by episode when it originally came out, I could see myself just throwing the remote like, God damn it, a year of my life wasted. Which is why I don't suggest people digest the show that way. Definitely binge it. But I'm interested to see how you feel about this, Kit. Because we got Madison's point of view, which I love, but I want to know what your point of view is. I'm interested.
I did not like this episode. But it's not because of the cliffhangers per se, because I don't have that fear. I can literally go home and just start at season 2. And I will likely do that, even though I have 5 movies to watch for work this week. I might watch more Lost this evening. But for all the reasons that you said, I do feel like they under-delivered. They kind of cheated the audience, specifically with the others. You know, that's not only the hatch I can see. It's like it's literally deeper than we thought. You know, and that's fine-ish. I'm not even positive the writers know what's in there at this point in the show. If I'm honest, you know?
They're still figuring it out.
Yeah, like, oh fuck, wait. Carl, you said you were going to figure out the hatch.
Just make the ladder really long.
Yeah, we'll do the thing.
Yeah.
And I've seen that shot when people, like this, one of the most iconic shots of the show is the Tarantino trunk shot of the hatch with everybody looking in it. That's a still that I've seen every time anybody talks about this show. So that was kind of fun. But the others, that's not even, that's just wand waved away. It's just, they're not there when they should be. Nobody's seen them. We also got some other things in this episode that I've heard. Legend has it. You know,
technically the others, I think, do show up, but it's not in the way you expect it. Because it's the dudes on the boat. Those are, you know, you can infer those are the others, but you think they're hyping up this big climactic battle where they're going to invade the beach and attack the people on the beach, and that's why they're got to be safe. No, they're just after Walt. And they know that.
They just want children, younglings.
I've sent out my finest men. It's me, Dr. Brenner from Stranger Things. I've always been here.
I guess.
Bring me the special boy.
I am immortal.
There's some good stuff in this episode, but it's a bunch of blue balls for me. You know, like you give Sawyer, a murderer, one of my guy, a gun. He has his moment. He does nothing. You know, we get this crescendoing rescue that's undercut. And then I spent the whole time not thinking, oh, I guess those are the others, but thinking, why are they speaking American English?
Yeah.
Where in the world are they right now? I'm the captain now. And, you know, because that's where they are in the world, I think. I don't know.
That's kind of what I also interpreted as well. I was like, that's when I kind of knew. I was like, these are not. This is not a good.
You don't expect Duck Dynasty to show up on the Lost Island.
Jedediah showed up like they just crash landed in Louisiana.
Literally.
You know,
Zebulon, turn the boat around. We got to get the special boy.
What's that music? Is that Mardi Gras?
Yeah. Leonard Skinner.
They're blaring Skinner on the boat.
Free
as a bird. As they take off with Walt.
I almost feel like now that you guys have kind of like affirmed my my thoughts, I feel like this would have been a good first episode for season 2, and almost like finishing part 2, episode 24, a little bit differently to kind of align with what's going to happen in this episode. But I feel like it would have been a lot better to start with something like this. Like the momentum of this episode seems to me like a good first episode of a season, if that makes sense.
I do like, they do a lot of work setting up stakes and conflict for season 2. So Charlie's an addict again, or at least very conflicted. There's one thing. We've got Walt missing, and I don't know what's going to happen. They're 15 miles from the island without even a boat now. So Jen and Michael and Sawyer are just sitting there floating on debris, I'm guessing. Debris, depending on what part of the country you're from. And so there's a bunch of like little plot threads that are going to be super fun to explore that I can't wait. The biggest cliffhanger for me is, when do we get more Michelle Rodriguez? I need to find that out.
You're waiting in the wings.
I'm not going to say that's why I'm going to watch season 2 immediately tonight.
But it's why you're going to watch season 2 immediately tonight. It's not the hatch. It's not where's Walt. It's where's Michelle Rodriguez.
I hope she comes up in like the last episode of season 2.
That would be par for the course for this fucking show.
And you're just waiting.
The whole show ends with Jack getting to the mainland and Ana Lucia's like, hey, you ready for that drink now? And that's
she like shows up with like
but it's
tequila
just over the shoulder shot
tonic.
from her back and you don't see her face.
Oh my God.
because they couldn't pay her for that episode.
That's what they do, yeah. But it's clearly Hurley, and they're just like ADRing her.
Yeah.
I do think I do like the idea of the sort of bait and switch they do, where they're coming for the baby, and we all as an audience assume it's Aaron, Claire's baby.
See, I didn't get any of that.
They're coming for the whole time. They're, at least in this situation, they were coming for Walt, but everyone's worried about Claire and her baby. I do kind of like that bait and switch.
I didn't even pick that up. That is cool if I had gathered that from the episode, but I didn't at all.
But I just don't think that there is something like, you kind of mentioned blue balls with Sawyer. There is a little bit of blue balls with this presentation of the others, because when Danielle comes out on the beach in episode 23, and she's like, the others are coming. You're like, oh, fuck. We already know what Ethan's like. There's who are these others? What is their deal? And then it's just a couple of dudes on the boat like, you gonna give us the boy now.
Doesn't one of them have like a yellow hat on? I was like, what is this fisherman bullshit?
I don't even know. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought they were just pirates.
Fair.
And at first I thought it's a really small boat for open sea. I'm not a seaman.
Need a bigger boat.
Exactly. They can't go into open sea in that boat. That's why they got to have a big island nearby to dock at.
That's true. As far as I know how boats work, that is very true. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're all saying the same thing, where it's like the payoff of what we were anticipating to what we received was not necessarily.
If I had to wait 7 months for any more, I would be upset. I don't, so I'm not. But I was like, oh, dang. I didn't expect the hatch to be 6 feet deep and get an immediate payoff there. Yeah. The ladder's broken. I wonder how they're going to, was it not?
I didn't think it was broken.
I thought I saw the ladder was missing like 7 feet. So that might be a thing.
Maybe
I can't. Maybe it's not.
I was watching it on my computer in Starbucks, so I probably didn't see it.
But anyway, for the most part, I mean, it's good fun. I'm excited to see where it goes. I also thematically thought that they failed to trust their audience completely. Like all of a sudden, I was having a lot of fun. Like 2 months ago, I said the stuff about the Pope versus the King, and you were like, "Oh, neat," because that is kind of what's going on. And I felt proud of myself, and I was having a good time. And I like when movies allow me to be proud of myself. And then in the middle of this episode, they just say, fuck all that, just in case you're not picking up on it. I'm faith, you're science. And it was just like, oh, okay. I guess we're coming right out with it now.
Did you happen to see the episode title for season 2, episode 1?
I did.
Man of Faith, Man of Science?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I did. So any hoozle, very excited to see where it all goes. It all makes good sense. I think it was handled a little poorly for the most part, but there are some really good moments in this episode.
Yeah.
Specifically like that montage thing that they always do is really powerful in this episode. And it felt like a really good season 1 retrospective. They did a good job about that in general with the help of the first 2 episodes. So let's dive in. But there's the big reveal. Not just the hatch, Steve. One of the legendary lost things. The smoke monster.
What?
The smoke monster.
The smoke monster.
The Sam Raimi ghost.
Oh yeah.
has returned.
Sorry, I was unaware you guys knew that was the term of it.
I have heard smoke monster without any context for 20 years.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
So when Jack was like, and Kate was like, I saw it too. I was like, oh fuck, here we go.
The smoke monster.
But the whole thing with Locke, I was like, what is going on right now? And I don't know. Anyway, I guess they all live in tunnels or something, because that's where the hatch goes down, and the monster was trying to pull Locke down as well. Maybe they're unrelated downs. I don't know.
Unrelated down.
Like if they might run into a smoke monster down there cooking tea, he'll be like, what are you doing down here?
What are you doing down here? It's definitely a British.
He speaks British. Yeah. Oh, like
speaks British.
Speaks British.
Yeah. He has a British accent.
Crumpet tea.
Crumpet
bang
tea.
and mash.
Would you like some English breakfast tea?
Sunshine daisies, watermellow. Turn this stupid fat rat mellow. Yellow. Anyway, smoke flits by. Jack and Kate see it. He's like, oh, I saw it. That was crazy. I think that's a Dementor. Hey.
Oh, hey, it's just us, the Dementors. We've been here this whole time.
Sorry, it's a little chilly. That's just what we bring. We're just bringing the cold weather with us.
Oh, you finally came to the dark territory? That's where we hang out, gang.
Did you see our invite with the smoke? Oh,
look at her. Property values here going to go up.
Oh boy,
shoot.
howdy, they are.
I want to give you a kiss, but I'm going to suck your soul out, so I can't.
Where'd Arts go?
So now y'all know you're on Azkaban.
Oh, I love the Southern Dementor bit.
Don't worry.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
anyway, welcome.
Make yourselves at home.
Sorry we dragged you in that hole.
Careful with that dynamite.
Yeah.
How many got? 6?
I've been spitting on it for 20 years. You gotta spit on it or it won't go in.
On it.
I've been swallowing.
Smoke flits by. Jack and Kate see it. The monster starts fucking ripping up trees, which it's done before, but I don't think we've ever seen the trees like this before. It's
Just getting ripped out like weeds.
Full J.J. Abrams.
Bigger budget.
Yeah, it's like the pilot.
Yeah.
They blew their load on the front and the back.
Yep. I do.
I wasn't going to entertain it, but then you made eye contact with me. I was like, God damn it. Oh.
But Locke's not scared. Everybody else they're taking the backpacks off as planned. Remember when he was like, yes, sir. And he's taking his pack off, but he just wants to say hi to his friend.
And he's like, hey, buddy. You're so beautiful. You're just black smoke.
I love that he kind of gets his comeuppance here, like his arrogance, which is shaken but not completely knocked apart because, his faith is returned by the time Jack goes to rescue him. But
he sees fear for the first time.
He does. Jack.
The first time we saw that POV from the smoke monster shot, like way back in, I don't know what that was, episode
7,
4 or 6 or something. Yeah. The camera zoomed in on Locke and he's like, wow, it's beautiful. It's so pretty. Free willing me. But this time he falls on the ground.
I got a new haircut.
And he pooped his pants.
He does.
Pupe.
Pubes.
John Locke, I'm coming for that kid.
So are we confirming that the smoke monster is the same monster that is pulling trees out of the ground?
I believe so.
I believe you can assume because it's making the same noise and
okay. Because I guess like there is like a mechanical noise as well.
There is, yeah.
So part of me was like, I was like, what are they doing there? At first I was like, oh, are they like avataring it? And there's like a dude in like a metal like
you really want
robot
this to be Wizard of Oz so bad.
Well, I mean, Danielle called it a security system, so maybe we're just near the gears of it.
And I don't know if they're like just kind of building off of like that security like element, and they're just like adding mechanical like Foley to like kind of enhance like the soundbite of the monster or whatever. But to me, I interpret it as are these the same thing? Because initially I was like, oh, I guess these could technically be two different things because I haven't seen the black figure like physically take the tree out of the ground. So
it's interesting. We've only seen one person killed by the monster, right? Which was the pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the way back.
I can't remember exactly how.
He just got sucked out of the window and blood splattered on the window. We didn't actually see what it did to him.
Right.
We do know it threw him up into a tree.
The monster went.
It's weird because seeing the monster now, it doesn't seem like the kind that would be deterred by a grove of bamboo. You know, we've seen twice characters like hide in bamboo trees, like can't get me. One was the polar bear maybe, but I don't know. It just...
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Well, the go-to move, like even in this episode, Jack and Hurley and all them, like immediately go into like a grove at one point to like hide from it. Like we know this works.
It's visions based on movement. I can still see you.
I guess just my initial, like when I was picturing like developing the monster in my head as we progressed through the season, I was not that I was envisioning like a Bigfoot style character, but there was like
I wish it was Bigfoot.
like my initial thought was like, oh, where the wild things are, like that type of imagery.
Just bumbling around the
Yeah,
woods.
and it was just like this.
Honestly,
like,
that
You
would
got
be
sent
more
to bed without your
terrifying.
dinner?
but like just this, not even necessarily like this Godzilla-esque figure, but just like a big physical, like ominous, like big giant creature.
Squatch. A big squatch.
Big
Some kind of
squatch.
squatch.
Yeah.
And for it to be this like hovering, floaty,
Oh, hello.
like I'm just picturing,
I like the bald one.
yeah, like a magic carpet-esque creature. I don't know.
Where'd your little twink buddy go?
Oh no, he died.
Shit.
Oh, I didn't get to suck him off yet.
His soul.
His
So
soul.
you're right.
Yeah. That's what we do.
Double meaning over there.
He didn't go with my party plane, did he?
Oh, they've ruined the party plane. Oh, don't tell Charlie. That boy can't handle his heroin.
So Jack goes after Locke, who's just wanting to say hi to his friend. He rips up a tree right next to Locke, and Locke falls down. And this time he does not look pleased. He looks
He's
terrified.
like, oh no.
Did I make you angry?
I fucked up.
Don't take my
Hoisted by
legs.
my own petard.
Lost. Now Locke runs. Jack pursues him. Locke ends up getting pulled away by this monster. And we get this cool like Snorri cam shot where he's being dragged away, like Locke POV, like, "Arr!" It's neat. And then Jack pulls a fucking Indiana Jones, chases him, dives, grabs his arms. And I guess the monster's not stronger than Jack.
I mean, have you seen those
Well,
arms?
is he
He did beat up Ethan.
is the monster still dragging Locke, or is Locke just like literally?
Otherwise, Jack could pull him
dangling.
up, right?
Well, I don't know. The way that he's kind of like holding on to him doesn't make me think he
The
could.
blocking of that scene is weird because they want Kate to throw dynamite down into the hole, but I wasn't aware the hole was that deep. I thought,
Right.
I was like, you're just gonna blow Locke in half, and then like
And he's really
the
gonna be
dynamite
paralyzed.
ends up being like, and then you hear like the monster go, "Roar," and
And
like,
it
It's
farts
like-
out of a
it gets
different
farted
hole.
out of a
It's like,
different hole.
"Arr, you bitch.
Yeah, it's interesting. But what's cool about that
Rude.
scene is the reveal that the dynamite was never in Kate's backpack. It was in Jack's.
Yeah.
He was a sneaky protector man.
Ugh.
What a
whatever.
misogynist.
What
She
a-
can carry the
God,
sticks.
Literally. Let her carry the dynamite. God damn.
He's the one trying to save her. He said chivalry is not dead, and he's not going to allow Kate to be
I
either.
guess not.
Women can't carry back.
It's too heavy.
Everyone knows. Kate, I got it.
Women can make decisions for themselves.
I've read that nitroglycerin is set off by estrogen.
By raw sex appeal.
Also, we all know that periods attract bears. And there's polar bears on this island.
True.
We don't want polar bears
need to
setting off
put-
dynamite.
You're
Women
too
in-
hot for
We
the
need to
dynamite.
put women in cages when they're on their period. So they don't-
I think you'll make them explode. That's what you do to me. Come on, guys. Did I go too far?
No,
No, that's good. Good job.
keep going.
Let's go. Keep
I
going.
could use 6 or 7 more examples.
Okay, fine. I wrote them down. Yeah. So I ultimately it's the scene is tense. It works. I love the reveal that he's the one carrying the dynamite. No, my backpack. We don't have time. And I also like that this is kind of the last straw for Jack, right? Because Locke repeatedly says,
Let me
I'll
go.
be fine. Let me go. He's just taking me to his house. We're going to have a sleepover. I'm pretty sure we're going to play Castlevania Symphony of the Night. You know, that's what we're going to do.
We're going to watch Will and Grace.
Oh,
Good show.
big Will and Grace fan.
I was on it.
I like the interplay there between he and Jack. This is the last battle of wills that kind of pushes things along. But anyway, he tosses the dynamite in. The creature shrieks and smoke flies away. And he rescues a chagrined Locke. We cut back to the raft. Michael sees the watch. He's practicing English with Jen. They get the rudder put back on. And then in this scene, Jen gives Michael the watch.
Oh, it's
Michael,
so sweet.
Michael's touched. Like, holy shit, this is why you punched me. Now it's mine. I wish I could take that handcuff off you.
Yeah, I love this scene just
It's a good
because
one.
These two characters have somehow managed to like have their own language in a way the last couple episodes. Like Michael will just say something to Jen and Jen's like, even though they don't understand each other, like somehow they can communicate. They don't speak the same language because Jen's like, no, that thing. And he points and Michael's like, no, not that. But now they're like, tell me the words you know. And he's like, raft, utter, eat. And he's like, oh, she taught you eat, huh? That's a good woman you got right there.
That's a keeper.
Make sure you eat it. Sorry. Just kick me off the show.
And Jen's like, yeah, fish.
Crushed off the list.
Yeah, I've loved seeing their bromance blossom. It's been a real high point of the show. And then we cut to Sun making Claire tea, which is, she's like, it's poison. Kate's recipe.
I call it Kate's drapes.
And then she's like, what's Aaron mean? And Claire's like, awkward.
I don't know.
It reminded me of Pulp Fiction, where Bruce Willis's character, Butch, what does Butch mean? And he's in the taxi cab and he's like, I'm American, honey. Our names don't mean shit.
Literally, yeah.
Same vibe.
Same vibe, yeah.
But then at this point, this is where she tells her, Charlie will bring your baby back. Chili's.
Charlie. Baby back quest.
Why am I thinking of Austin Powers? I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby
Because
back.
that's the same thing.
Ribs.
Yeah, that's the chili song.
Is it?
Chili, because it says that, and then it goes Chili's baby back ribs.
Oh. Haha.
But she says because he said he would. You were on the same page. You just didn't know.
Yeah.
We cut to Charlie and Saeed. They're still chasing after Rousseau.
Charlie's baby back quest.
She booby trapped a fake baby, and Charlie falls for it immediately. Even though Saeed's like, stop, please listen to me. Do anything I say ever. Please. Would be nice. Honestly, Charlie, I lost my love for his character in the last 7 episodes or so. He's like pretty stupid.
He's very stupid. He's very like nasty to people randomly.
Yeah, he's like, ooh. In this episode especially, it's one of my least favorite scenes of all time.
My baby.
My baby.
It's my girlfriend's baby. Why'd you take it?
I mean, we're not official yet, but we're pretty steady.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like his baby would call me dad for sure.
He's kind of creeping me out, you know? I don't even think Claire likes him like that.
Yeah, she's just kind of like,
It's
okay, go
almost
get
like-
my baby.
You come live with me in LA. Oh, okay.
It's like he is trying to find purpose, which I can respect, but at the same time, it's almost like a hovering annoyance. Like we get it. Like you're trying to be there for this kid and for Claire, but like
you didn't even give her real peanut butter.
I'm like, you're being annoying.
Just imagine I gave you something and then I'll just hang out with me all the time.
Yeah.
That was his game.
Yeah, I really don't like the way that he like his first instinct is to always attack the other people that are on the island, whether that's like he's just really shitty to Hurley, like in the Numbers episode, or like his like, oh, someone took Aaron, let me punch Saeed, like that kind of stuff.
It's just been a lot of that recently.
Yeah.
But there, he gets a vicious wound on his forehead from the booby trap. A terrible wound. And I like this scene though, because he says, you need to go back. You're bleeding too heavily. And he's like, I'm not coming back without that baby, right? Like he desperately needs to keep his word because that's the one thing an addict rarely does is have integrity, keep their word. And it's so important to him. And he's like, well, I'm not a fucking doctor, Charlie, and I'm in a hurry right now. And he's like, you're a soldier. What would you do if we were just leave me here? I would just bleed out?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Soldiers die.
The mission comes first.
That's hilarious.
And then Saeed says, remove the towel and tilt your head back. And I was like,
stop
this
it.
movie, it's doing things to me.
You'll need the towel in a moment.
Yeah.
So we'll move it for now. How did he get that bullet open? So can you just open bullets like that?
No,
Yeah.
you can't.
So he pours gunpowder into the cut and it's like all in his fucking eye and shit. It was bothering me.
I'm trying to remember because I do remember seeing that scene, like that like thing happening in another movie in another scene. I can't remember what it was.
I think it's a thing.
It is a thing. I can't remember the exact scene it was from another movie, but I want to say that was done on like another body part, like a more like
Not the face.
Not the face.
Yeah.
Not the moneymaker.
Yeah, that would be. I feel like
And there's a lot in there.
Yeah.
I guess it would work fine. It's not enclosed. It would just burn along the path.
Like, it was like on his, like trickling down his face. Like it was so close to his eye. I'm like, he could have lost an eye.
It's worth it for the baby.
I guess.
And so they cauterize the wound with the gunpowder in a match.
Gunpowder in a match. Yeah.
It looked like some of the black pepper I use in my kitchen. That's all.
It's just
That would be such a gnarly pain, though.
Yeah, I know.
Like it does seal the wound, but you went from a gash to a severe burn.
Yeah.
And then, all right, let's go. No wonder he's so shitty to Rousseau. He's just grumpy. He's like, oh, fuck.
He set my head on fire.
Yeah, that's true. She did like dump a bunch of rocks on his head and stuff
That's
too.
fair.
Yeah.
It's just his reaction is so funny to me later. We'll get to it. Back in the past, Hurley is a sleepy boy. He's at the airport hotel. I assume the same one that Walt and Michael were at. But none of his electricity works in his hotel room. Like the socket blew while he was sleeping. He's this walking black cat, right? So he's like, fuck.
It's his mom's birthday tomorrow. We can't miss that flight.
Maybe today. I don't know how the whole time change thing works.
That's good.
Which I think in Australia, if he's going back to America, it would actually be going back in time.
It would go back in time.
Yeah. So technically he did wake up on his mom's birthday.
So Hurley is running to catch the plane. He drives his own car there. The car backfires and stalls, so he has to foot it. The lady selling plane tickets is bizarrely rude, right? That's so fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
A man of your size much purchase 2 tickets. That's fine, but at the same time, she's just like taking so much joy in his discomfort. Why?
Yeah.
Why is this like sadistic person working? What airline is this? This
Oceanic
has got to be United.
He shows up and he's like, "Can we speed this along?" And she's like,
She's typing like,
"I'm going as fast as I can." Slowly turns.
and she's hunting, pecking. No typing skills. And then she takes so much joy in telling him that his flight is across the airport and currently boarding.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Looks like you won't be, after you just paid so much money for these tickets, you're going to have to buy new tickets for a different flight.
Maybe I could have warned you, but
Oops.
After he buys 2 tickets, right?
yeah, she's got to upsell them tickets. You know what I'm saying?
So he ends up trying to cut everybody in the security line. We see Arts there, but they won't let him go. So he has to turn back around, find another way. He pays an old man $1,600 who recently had a hip replacement for his scooter, which is really, I get that that's like a lot of money. And he says, borrow. But that guy may never see that scooter again. That thing probably cost 10 grand. It's like, fuck off, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I think they should have been more money, but
hey, this was 2005, so maybe
with inflation, that's at least 3 grand.
Right.
At least.
So he gets to the gate as they're closing it, and he's like, "Please let me on this plane." I do love the coyness with the audience here, because the first quote unquote good thing to happen to him in a year has just occurred, where the lady's like, "You know what? It's your lucky day." But it's not. It's the worst thing that's ever going to happen to him is being on that plane. And so he's like, yes, gives her a big sweaty hug.
Oh yeah, he's so sweaty
because he's drenched. And but what was so cute and endearing is how genuinely happy that lady was to get that hug. Yeah. Because Hurley's such a nice guy. And I think,
we would all be so lucky to get a hug from Hurley.
Yes.
Yeah, but like in reality, in today's world, for very good reasons, if I, as a big man, just snatch up a woman and hug her, not a good look. No. Nobody's having fun. But in this moment, it was just, she was like, "Oh, he's so happy. Well, I needed a hug today." Like, it was so innocent and wonderful to see,
Yeah.
Even though in no way would that ever happen. Police, security, getting maced immediately.
Yeah.
For good reason. But back in the present, Hurley's like muttering the numbers, which are 4, 8, 16, 23, 42.
Yeah. 4,
I memorized
15,
them.
16, 23.
16. Fuck.
15, 16. Yeah.
I failed the
15,
test.
16, 23, 42.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Nice.
Jackie Robinson's number. 23 is significant to Kate. She hears him. "What are you doing? You're saying numbers?" And he's like, "What? Why? What'd you hear numbers?" And she was like, "I thought you said 23.
Oh, what's that mean to you?
If I did, what would that mean to you?"
Not saying I did say it.
23,000 is the amount that the guy who snitched on her was paid for her bounty, right?
Yeah.
That's
that
a
farmer
very
guy, right?
odd number to get paid.
23. Literally an odd
23,000.
number.
Literally.
I wonder if it's Prime. Brian.
Optimus Prime. Sorry.
Autobots.
Give the farmer the 23,000. The Autobots made a deal. We will honor it because we are honorable robots.
Kate is the Allspark. We cut back to Jack,
You're going to need 5 guns if you're going to take down Kate.
She's a Decepticon.
Bumblebee, take her out.
I want to go watch Bumblebee now.
That's a good movie.
Haley Steinfeld. It's the best Transformers
It
movie.
is the
I
best
haven't
one,
seen that one yet.
You would
best
love
one.
it.
I know I would. I need to watch it.
John Cena has the best line ever in that movie.
John Cena's in that movie?
Yeah.
You can't see him, but
Yeah.
Oh,
what's he say?
Because at some point, because the whole thing is the Decepticons are working with the government at first, and John Cena's like, they call themselves Decepticons. Does that not raise any red flags?
It's true. It's not a good name.
Decepticons.
You should have seen it coming.
Did they deceive you?
The script writes itself.
We cut back to Jack, and I love Jack's line because they're like, hey, you guys should be split up. You're both carrying the dynamite. And Jack's like, we blow up, dude. Honestly, at this point, I got to tell you, I wouldn't hate it. I kind of want to die.
Up?
Yeah, Jack's just like, I kind of want to die. I hate all of this.
I've been blown up ever since I got on this island.
Oddly, none of them talk about a smoke monster. They're just like, whatever.
It happened.
We need to get in the hatch.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally the smoke monster thing happens and immediately it's like, you switched the bags? Yeah. You pray.
You asshole.
But he wants to know what's going on in John's head. Why did you want to hang out with the monster? Why did you think you were going to be okay? That's fucking weird, dude. And why did you believe it wasn't going to hurt you?
I was being tested.
I was being tested. Science and faith were different.
Locke's like, do you think all of this, us landing on this island, do you think all of this was an accident? No, we were brought here for a purpose.
Each
it
one
was
of us.
Fate. Destiny. Sorry, it was destiny.
And then Jack is like, well, what was Boone's fate? Or like something like that.
Did you talk with Boone about destiny, John?
Yeah.
Boone was a sacrifice the island demanded. Not a good look for you, Locke.
Not a good look at all. No.
He said, look, think about it. Because Boone died, that's why we're here in this moment right here, right now. Which isn't really true. I think it's completely irrelevant that Boone died. Because the others coming is why they're there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I hated most about that, is that actually did not depend on Boone dying at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The only thing that really depended on Boone dying was
Charlie's heroin.
but I mean, he did tell Jack about the hatch because Jack was like, "Oh, you a murderer?" But I mean, even still, but to your point, if the others were coming, I think John Locke would be like, hatch?
I've got a porta potty we could hide in.
Yeah, it's underground.
An underground shithole.
But yeah, that's where the things come to a head between Locke and John. I think will be a major conflict point for season 2.
I love this line where Locke tells Jack, he's like, do you believe in destiny, Jack? He's like, no, I don't. He's like, you do. You just don't know it yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love me some Locke.
Jack's like, I don't think so.
I'm a doctor.
I know my shit.
I know a lot of stuff.
The only destiny I believe in, Destiny Child.
Student loans.
Bootylicious, baby.
Ooh.
Destiny's Child, baby.
Bills.
I don't think you're ready for this jelly, John. Yeah.
You know, John Locke would not know Destiny's Child.
Yes, he would.
He would? You
Yes,
think he would? You think he
Yes,
would?
he would. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He could do the opening Stevie Nicks Edge of 17 beat as Bootylicious comes on.
Someone
I think
make
I'm ready
this.
for this jelly.
Somebody make this, like
Him
John
and
Locke
Beyonce.
dancing to that. Yeah.
Can you handle this? Back in the past,
Back in time.
the lady at the airport says that they can't load Locke onto the plane because they don't know where the special wheelchair device is.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
What
in my
airline
life.
is this?
Like, what special wheelchair that it's like narrow enough to go down the aisles? I'm like,
I don't know.
what?
So they have to carry him on.
Yeah.
And this scene is very effective for because remember, if you remember, Locke flew 20 hours to this place and then was denied entry to something he feels like he can participate in. He was willing to sign the waivers. And so he's going back defeated, sad. Everything he's wanted to do and train for is, and his dad, the reason he's paralyzed is probably something fucking crazy. And his dad tricked him into stealing a kidney. Like, the guy is not having a good time.
No. The world is not kind to John Locke.
And then he drops this little menu and
then he
can't
went
reach
from
it, which
hair to no hair.
is tough.
That's
Yeah. A luscious head of hair.
And you always think
pure bald.
I'm going to look like Jason Statham, and it's at worst, and you don't,
When you go bald.
Yeah, you don't.
You're like,
for some reason.
My head has a weird point
I try to leave the little stubble there and then just talk in a British accent.
I'm going to shave my head today.
It never works.
It's a goddamn megalodon.
I don't know why. But yeah, that's that scene.
Poor Locke. I always feel bad for him when they cut to this stuff.
Yeah.
Back in the present, they make it to the hatch with the dynamite. Locke tells Hurley to take the extra sticks a few hundred yards. He's like,
But
oh,
he says Hugo.
me? He calls him Hugo.
Which I thought was very interesting. Because
It is pointed because nobody calls him that except
Locke's the only one that calls him that.
But then he refers to him as Hurley later on.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, is this like a build off of the conversation that he just had with Jack? Like, oh, I'm using real names now. I don't know. It was just very weird that he called him Hugo, not Hurley.
I think he's called him Hugo before though.
Has he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has.
I'm feeding into it more than I should, I guess.
Hugo's a dope name.
It is
In a underrated Scorsese film. But Kate's in charge of running the fuse. We cut to Walt sleeping on the boat. Sawyer and Michael are kind of arguing, kind of just debating over whether or not they should turn the radar thing on. Michael wants to reserve the battery, and Sawyer says no. Saeed said every hour to turn it on. I'm going to follow the rules, damn it. Even though I follow 0 rules ever. And then Sawyer's like, by the way, you're a saint. I'd have hit that kid a bunch.
What a weird thing for them to digress to.
And Michael's like, oh, would you? And then
You're going to sleep on that side of the raft.
Yeah.
and then he said, did your dad hit you? And he says, no, he shot himself when I was 8. He didn't do much of anything. And then Michael said, is that why you want to die? And Sawyer's like, what are you talking about? Look, man, you're either a hero or you want to die because there's no reason for you to be on this raft, really, right?
Well, I ain't no hero, Mike.
I ain't no hero. That's a good ass line. That means it's the other one, Steve.
Oh, no, not Sawyer.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Someone just needs to give him a hug.
Or kiss.
Tell him he is loved, and I'm going to kiss him.
A big old kissy kiss.
You're not leaving Azkaban.
Put them readers on. I'm going to kiss you.
Just put those readers on. I can't control myself.
I'll write you a letter.
Read this.
But they get something on the radar. Blip, blip, blip. They're only 15 miles out, by the way. That's made clear that they've only made it 15 miles from the island. So that's important for who the other people on the boat are that I didn't catch.
It is kind of spooky. Like, oh,
did you see some
already
smoke? Was there smoke on the water? Fire in the sky?
I think so.
Bam, bam,
Oh,
bam.
I thought it was just. I just thought it was. I was seeing like what do you call that when water breaks? Like if a boat like. I thought it was like indicating that there's something in the water, but you can't quite see it because it's far off.
Could have been a mirage.
Not quite a mirage. An illusion.
An illusion.
I thought it's not me. It's not me.
Not me. No.
I thought it was a smoke monster, maybe, but you're right. It's probably just a.
Well, I feel like at this point, if
illusion.
they're only 15 miles out, they could still. Correct me if I'm wrong. They could still see the island at this point, right?
Well, except that it's dark. But yes.
Well,
I would
yeah,
think
but
so.
like if there was somebody out there, they would have seen the island. Am I wrong?
Depends on what latitude they're at because the curvature of the Earth.
Right.
I made that up.
Yeah.
It sounded good as fuck, though, didn't
It
it?
did.
It did.
You're a nautical
Wow.
man.
Wow.
Well, a lot of people believed you.
You've seen those videos where the flat earthers accidentally prove themselves wrong?
Yeah, those are the best.
They're like, at 60 feet, it should still be in this circle unless it's curved.
Interesting.
Are you holding it up? Yeah. Fuck.
And then they're still like, well, let's just redo it.
That doesn't prove anything.
No, it doesn't prove anything.
The government switched my flashlights. Saeed and Charlie creep up to the pillar of black smoke. They're strapped. They're ready. No one's there. Chris is upset.
That was a very anticlimactic smoke
I know. It was just like a
source.
little pile of tar.
I was picturing this like long, like factory cylinder chimney,
Yeah. Like the thing
feeding out.
The thing that billows out the smoke when they choose a new pope. Like something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
or
it's
just like massive like pit of fire.
And Charlie even says that, doesn't he? Like, he's like, that's it? There's like a line like, oh.
And Saeed notices there's no tracks.
It's just another beach.
There's no tracks around the
They covered
fire.
them.
Yeah.
Or there's smoke monsters and they don't have feet.
Ooh.
That's why we don't leave tracks.
They're just floating.
Tarantino would hate us. We got no feet. So they do hear a baby crying. And I love the idea that Danielle was just trying to hide. And,
Ah, shit.
it's another baby.
Are you out there, Danielle?
I hear you.
No.
And Saeed, he really likes Danielle. He puts his gun away. He's like, Danielle, just give me the baby. And she does say, you were right. I wanted Alex back. Came up with that whole plan. You figured out immediately. And she does give them the baby. He gives it to Charlie. And then she heard the whisper say that they were coming for the boy, which is Walt.
Yeah.
Up top, Steve. I didn't gather that at all. I was too mad about the anticlimactic. I was just like,
I was kind of playing with the idea that, it could be Walt.
Interesting.
There's more than one special boy on this island.
There is.
Yeah.
Vincent is the only special boy.
That's true. Vincent is the specialist boy.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
Yeah.
They just want the dog.
Someone took Vincent.
Shannon's like,
I tried to stop him, but whatever.
But
I love Charlie looks right at Danielle and goes, "You're pathetic," which is what the girl said to him, right? When he took the dope from her. But
I didn't make that connection either. Good call.
I also love the fact that he's British, who famously hate the French. And that's part of his ire. And he's just like, fucking Frenchie.
100 Years War, motherfucker.
You had crossbows. We had bows. That was the whole thing, by the way.
history lessons with Kit.
I like
True history with Kit Laser.
Swords and arrows.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so let me tell you about it.
Okay.
So the French had the crossbow, which was more effective at short range and would pierce armor. But the English longbow was far superior for distance.
Hence the name.
Victory. Yeah.
Longbow. Nice.
But people hated archers. It was considered cowardly. So if you were an archer and you got captured,
Fuck you.
No quarter. No quarter. You were shooting at me from fucking 300, what do they say? Not yards.
Meters?
Clicks.
Fathoms.
Isn't that the depth of the ocean? Locke is setting the dynamite. And again, there's this little battle of wills because Locke says that he'll put the fuse in, but then Jack's like, I'll do it. Right. And Locke's like, whatever. But also, it's a very important job. But I mean, like, if we're going to be intelligent about this, right? Practical. Jack's a fucking surgeon.
He's the only doctor on the island. He's got to be as far away from this as possible.
No, I mean, like he's got the steadiest hands in the bunch, you know?
Yes, yeah, but I don't want him blowing up.
Definitely don't. But Kate asks Jack about the dynamite trick instead of the smoke monster when they get a moment alone. And he's like, I was just trying to help you, but here, I need to know you got my back if I try to fight Locke. That dude scares me.
We're creating alliances. Have you seen Survivor? It's been out, it debuted right before we went on the plane, but we're going to start alliances.
It's a bad metaphor because only one person wins, but don't worry, I'm not going to screw you over.
No wink.
If we survive tonight, we're going to have a Locke problem. Wink, wink to season 2. You got my back? I got it, Jack. Unless Sawyer comes back, then I'll be conflicted. Have you seen Twilight? Since we're bringing up other movies.
The love triangle begins.
Hurley sees the numbers on the side of the hatch. He like trips and drops his flashlight.
You talking about the numbers?
And he's like, oh
Numbers.
no, don't open the hatch.
The numbers are bad.
And Hurley's like frantically tries to stop the explosion.
I have to imagine from everyone else's perspective who like these characters don't know anything about Hurley's like numbers shenanigans.
Right.
Just Hurley, who up until this point has been acting as if he's been stoned out of his mind this whole trip. Dude, that was messed up. Arts blew up.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's like, numbers are bad.
They're all just like, what?
Yeah. And Locke
That's why
is
Locke's
determined.
like, I'm lighting it anyway.
Nobody's going to stop him from seeing what's in that hatch at that point. He's willing. He almost kills Hurley, you know?
Yep.
I think
he almost kills Jack because Jack has to come in and dive and save Hurley.
Is it Jack that does that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jack does that.
Oh, yeah. Locke just stepped away.
bolts.
He
Yeah.
was like,
He's
sorry.
like, peace out. I got legs. Let me use them.
I lit it. My hands are tied.
Oops.
I thought he said the numbers are good to blow.
Which is interesting because it does something for Locke's character in that moment. It shows that his zealotry is excelled to the point. Of course, he was the cause of Boone dying, but indirectly. But now he's like willing to put others in harm's way. And
Yeah.
he's never before been that character.
His obsession is getting
The best
of him. Yeah.
Yeah.
We cut back to the boat, the raft briefly. The radar's still popping off. It's getting closer. They're arguing about whether or not they should fire the flare. I love the line where Jen is speaking Korean to Michael, who seems to understand. And then Sawyer's like, look, Han, you and Chewie want to slow down for a second? Which is awesome. But they're arguing about the flare. And then there's a joke about, I'm going to take the flare from you if you don't shoot it, right? And he's like, what are you going to do, shoot me? Referencing the gun that he found earlier.
No, I'm going to shoot you with the flare gun.
They ultimately do shoot the flare. Michael just doesn't want to waste it. And then the blip starts coming back. It seems to have worked. A craft shines a light on them. And they're all, the music score is triumphant. And they start telling their story. And the guys are so shady. The Duck Dynasty guys are, oh, really? Stranded on the island. Wow.
Good thing we showed up then.
That's crazy.
An island, you say? There's more people? Wow.
Here's the thing, though. We're going to have to take the boy.
Give me the kid.
We're going to have to take the boy.
Give me the kid.
Mustard and biscuits. Give me the boy. I reckon nobody's got to die today.
French fried potatoes.
Dude, nobody talks about Sling Blade anymore. And then Sawyer just does nothing. Just a dud.
Don't you get so hyped up because you could see Sawyer like in his mind, like, oh, I'm gonna shoot these guys.
At least kill one of them.
The whole time you're like, yeah, Sawyer's got it. No, like somebody in the boat immediately is like, no. They just smack him down immediately.
Faster.
Yeah.
Shoots him. He flies off the raft.
There's something to these Duck Dynasty guys.
Jen jumps in to save him. They beat up Michael and then take Walt. And then they what I hated about this scene is they've got like a Molotov cocktail and shit. Like, what? They blow up the raft. It's a jar of piss that explodes. I don't know what it was. And then I put, what the fuck? Why did they have that? But now I get that they're the others. I didn't understand any of this watching this episode. I'm an idiot.
Oh, okay.
Like the context is way more sinister and cool than what I thought was random hillbillies in the Caribbean.
No, these are all a bunch of Ethans, like on a boat.
No, I kind of figured that they were the others. Honestly, solely because I'm like, there's no way there's white dudes out on boats right now. Like there's been a Nigerian plane that has crashed, and then there's a slave ship that, like, we are definitely near other waters that do not have.
But you can briefly hear the music of Miami off in the distance.
How we get to Miami? That's another ocean.
That's season 1 or season 2, episode 1. Welcome to Miami. Charlie and Saeed show back up to the caves with the baby. Charlie's so happy. Claire's so happy. Everybody happy. They're all greeting Aaron.
Shannon's happy to see Saeed.
Yeah.
I love the scene. It's like a fucking shampoo commercial. You're worth it. Saeed's just washing his hair in slow-mo in the waterfall.
That was
sexy, Saeed.
I just
Are you okay?
Wow. I was like, whoa.
Sir.
Yeah.
Torture me.
I know, he does the whole thing.
The hair. Yeah.
It's like, damn. He's a L'Oreal girl. He
whips his hair and like the drips like get in shit his face.
She's like, let me drink it.
Guys.
I love his little curls.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's wet curls.
I'm not gonna say I wish I had hair.
But
damn.
Yeah.
Saeed making it look like people
hair is a big deal because compare this to when Locke was doing the same thing a couple episodes back, and we're all like, no, Walt, Walt, don't talk to him.
Yeah.
You're making me feel a lot better about it.
Which, since we're on the subject of hair, I have wanted to bring this up that I am a continuity person. So Jin's hair, as far as I can tell, has been the only like person's hair that has grown like significantly. I think Michael's has as well.
All of their hair. Saeed's hair is really
Shannon's
short
in the flashbacks.
But Michael's hair.
The only person's hair that has not grown, in my opinion, has been Jack's. It has remained as a buzz.
Yeah, Jack's hair is a thing.
That's true.
And it's annoying.
Well, you want him to have like a beaver shag soon? Because that's what it would grow into, right?
Well, no, I feel like it would look like Jin's hair. It would just be longer.
He would look better too. Can you imagine?
Jack with longer hair? Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, if you go back and watch the first episode, like all their hair is so much shorter. It's like Sawyer's hair is way shorter.
Well, even when they do like the flashbacks, like the montage scene at the end where they're just like kind of showing them in the plane, like getting on the plane. Jack looks exactly the same, like in terms of his hair, like length.
Well, that's also a huge continuity error because the flashback episodes, like Shannon's hair is longer when in the beginning of the season her hair was much shorter. Same with Saeed and all of the. Well, actually, they did shorten Saeed's hair for the flashback. I think they might have. I think they might have tied it up. Yeah. But Sawyer's hair is just as long as it is currently. That is a little bit of a continuity error. I could say
he trims it. Or maybe
I know we know Claire
cuts Charlie's
hair.
Yeah. So I mean that could also be a thing, but I just am like,
could you get my bush? Could you trim
the artist.
You did that right when I took a drink of water.
Anyway, Claire's so happy, everybody's happy. We get the Shannon hug. And she's like, I love you like a brother. And then Charlie's got...
What a weird thing to say to me.
Saeed's like, I'll take it.
Charlie's got the heroin statue in his pack. Because there's always time to party later.
Ooh.
Charlie took some nummies.
Dang, dang, dang. He's just going to sell it. He's got an idea. That's all.
Yo, Steve and/or Scott.
You want to get high? Claire, in the past, Claire's boarding the plane as we get this beautiful montage. And we see Kate boarding the plane with the marshal. We see a glimpse of Sawyer angrily walking onto the plane. He's got that old school, like short sleeve shirt over long sleeve shirt look. Yeah. I think people are trying to bring that back. I hope
like
so.
A boss.
Locke's sitting there. We see Jack. They meet eyes and do like
What's up?
they do the
Yeah. Smile and nod.
It's the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
And then Jack, Charlie, Saeed is sitting next to a racist dude.
Yeah, because that dude.
Well, wasn't that the marshal? Because remember, wasn't there? I thought this was a callback to initially when they were trying to figure out who.
No, he sits next to a different person.
Oh.
Saeed does. Yeah, because the marshal
would be
next
by
to Kate. Yeah. And
Well, because I thought they were trying to figure out who the criminal was. And I thought Sawyer or somebody had said, oh, Saeed, you were sitting in the back near the marshal.
He might be near him.
Yeah, but the angle that they're in, Saeed's in the center row of seats. Mm-hmm. The marshal and Kate were always on the window side.
Gotcha.
I mean, he might be like on the other end of the aisle, but the way they shots look, they're looking the other way of where Kate and the marshal would be.
Gotcha.
And we see Jen sitting there with his watch that he's got to deliver next to Son. Michael, like, buckles Walt's belt, which is a nice touch, even though Walt's just angrily playing the Game Boy still. Saeed's looking at a picture of Nadia. And then Shannon and Boone are together. It takes a long time to reveal Boone. He gives her inhaler.
I gotta say, this little touch of him giving her an inhaler, it hit me a little bit. I think of all these little small snippets in this montage, that's the one we're like, oh,
yeah.
Boone.
Because they were just talking about in the previous episode of how, like,
you'll appreciate what I do for you soon.
Yeah, yeah. And so this is just kind of a callback to that. Like, he does, like, know what she needs and, like, does care for her in that way.
Yeah. And I like it. It's kind of originally the inhaler was a different character too. So it's kind of funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, let's bring the inhaler back. Good touch, writers. Way to go. We see Hurley all super happy getting on. My favorite moment when he sees Walt and then gives him that thumbs up. And the Spanish comic book is his. I don't know why.
It's Hurley.
Why did I fucking realize he's the only one there that speaks Spanish? I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
We see the polar bear on the back.
Yeah.
Well, and I kind of was just like, why hasn't Hurley acknowledged that was his the whole time? But whatever.
Hey, man,
He
get off
already
my
read
book,
it.
man. Yeah.
Fair.
Then Arzt is there, and this is when Locke and Jack meet eyes.
Arzt helps Claire put her luggage up, which is like, oh, Arzt is...
I love that moment.
Nice.
It's such a small thing, but Claire, who's extremely severely pregnant, is trying to get by a person who's like kind of being rude, and then she kind of like rolls her eyes and pushes past. And I just thought it was a nice, like that's what real life looks like, you know? Like,
Yeah.
Back in the present, they approach the now open hatch. They move the door that's been blown off. And inside, the big reveal we finally get to see is just an empty hole in a long ladder.
A long ladder.
And that's the fucking end,
The end.
of the season.
Boom.
Season 1.
No others. Well, we get some others now. I feel a little better.
Yeah, yeah. Now you know
There
the
were
others are there,
explosions.
yeah.
I'm very excited to see people swimming, people shooting. Oh, no, Walt. What's Vincent doing? I don't know.
On?
What if Vincent saves Walt?
Oh,
He can sense that he's in trouble like Lassie
He's
and
like-
he starts swimming in the ocean.
he's
I'm
smelling
coming,
him?
Walt.
It turns into like a Homeward Bound show.
Oh my goodness.
There's that scene where like Walt comes out over the horizon, like, oh, Walt's back. Is Vincent coming back? And there's that pregnant pause where you think he's not, and then he limps across the horizon.
Yes. But Vincent's voice is Werner Herzog.
I found the child in the hole where he sustained himself on a daily intake of bugs and bread, drinking only the dirty water they would throw down for him.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yes.
Much like the scraps we, the people, take from our capitalist overlords.
Amazing.
This episode was sponsored by BetterHelp.
Folks, it's 2024. What does everybody do in the new year? They make resolutions. They set goals. How about we don't do that? I mean, you can. It's obviously nice to have goals, but it's also a good exercise to focus on things that you like about yourself. You know, not making all those high pressure goals that you might fail at and just feel worse. You can set smaller goals. And I think therapy can be a good way to access things that you enjoy about your life and focusing on the positive, the gratitude. And BetterHelp is a good way to do that. If you've never given BetterHelp a try, it's therapy that's entirely online. You can do it all from your home and access a therapist by filling out a questionnaire. And if you end up not liking that therapist, you can switch. Again, along with the theme of this ad, no pressure whatsoever. They're not going to have their feelings hurt by it. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. Celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit BetterHelp.com/streamingthings today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/streamingthings.
It's the month of February, so you know what time it is. It's time to thank our patrons. Every single one of you that helps keep the lights on at Streaming Things, thank you so much. But we want to give a special shout out to our super patrons, and here they are. Thank you to Stanton Valentino, Maddlestat, Bryce Coppin, Susie Callahan, Anthony Corona, Sunshine, Huckleberry Cauliflower, Ashley Hazen, Mike from New Hampshire, Brett X, Emily Scarano, Will Tickler, Svento 7, Jay Scramo, Bluffpum, AK Ashley Ray, Wendy O'Laughlin, Jason Hawkins, Big Butthorn, Conrad, Kaylee Sampson, Rabid Dog in a Barbie Car, Charlie Friday, Alexis Adler, Peaches, Emmy, Haley B, Joe Velez, Michelle, John Collins, Amber McVeigh, Amanda King, Trisha Bueller, Sun Loving Mortal, Suzanne Rode, Lauren Waller, Jen Robinson, Kalisha Reeves, Aaron Armstrong, Kevin Strother, Ashley Powers, Stephen V, Casey McCain, and of course, Enza. And with that, let's get back to the show.
So now it's time for everybody's favorite segment, Beach Please.
Beach, please. God, this is a bittersweet beach, please, because it's our last one for the season. If you don't know, if you're watching the final finale of Lost, you don't know by now, Beach Please is the segment of the podcast where I give you a little bit of trivia, goofs, mistakes, continuity errors that we saw in the episode we just watched, Exodus Part 3 or Part 2, depending on how you're watching it. Are you guys ready to dive into some tids and bits?
Let's do it.
All right. Well,
all the tids, all the bits.
Mm-hmm. So according to Damon Lindelof, in an interview, he said that there was a planned flashback for Vincent the dog in this episode. It would show Vincent's experience at the airport. It was sort of written as a tongue-in-cheek, sort of like, you know, longtime watchers of the show will appreciate this. But the scene was actually spoiled by the press before it aired, the written scene was spoiled by the press before they even filmed it, so they decided that since it was spoiled, it wasn't an important enough thing to do, and so they just ended up not actually filming it because the press ruined it.
Boo! TMZ, boo!
The fourth pillar failed us that time, guys.
Boo.
It's that time in Beach Please where we go talking about the numbers.
The numbers.
Hurley runs into his numbers constantly in this episode. Let's run down his experience. Hurley's hotel room number is 2342. When he gets the flat tire, the car speed drops from 42 to 16, then 15, then 8, then finally 4. The temperature display on his dash reads 23 degrees Celsius. When he's running through the airport, he runs past a team of soccer players. The jersey numbers are 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, and 42. The man that he takes the scooter from is wearing a Crazy 8's hat, and he buys the scooter for $1,600. And then when he finally arrives to the gate for Oceanic Flight 815, it's revealed that the gate is 23. So
he also walks by row 23 on the plane.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Actually, that's a continuity error too, because if you pay attention to the rows they're in, they're just reshooting everyone's scenes in the same row.
Same row.
So people are always shown in that.
Yeah.
Also, when another number pops up when Michael says to Sawyer that they are how many miles away from shore?
15.
15. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you know what Bob Marley song Sawyer's singing?
I thought he was singing "Don't Worry About a Thing."
I don't know if it was that one.
Because every little thing
It's gonna be all right. I don't think it's that one. No, it's Redemption Song is what he is singing.
Redemption Song.
Apparently, according to, and I pulled this little
Which
tidbit
has
off of
16 letters in it. No, I'm kidding.
What? They were there all along.
No.
According to Lossopedia, which is where I found this little tidbit, the lyrics of Redemption Song are prophetic towards Walt's situation. Old pirates, yes, they rob. I said I to the merchant ships. So yeah. Yeah. So
because they be pirates.
They be pirating,
They be
baby.
pirating.
So episodes 24 and 25 were released on the same day. So a lot of people sort of see these as one episode. In fact, the ranking list that we've been referencing this whole time considers them
spots
as one episode. Where do you think 24 and 25 collectively fell on that ranking?
4.
4?
3.
3?
Price is Righter.
Ooh, it's 2.
Wow.
It's ranked number
Closer.
2.
Number 2.
Right behind the Numbers.
So,
Well, it feels like a number 2
so
compared
Hurley's is
to
number 1, huh?
Yeah, Hurley's, Numbers is the number 1 ranked one, according to that list.
Interesting.
I don't agree, but there you go. This episode, okay, so 18.62 million American viewers watched part 1 of the 3-part series live. 20.71 million American viewers tuned in for part 2, so episodes 24 and 25, making this the most watched episode in the US since what episode?
the first one.
Hearts and Minds, the Shannon and Boone fucking episode.
God.
That was the highest rate, or the most people watched Lost at that episode, which is hilarious to me.
How did TV work back then to know that that's the show to tune into? Does that make sense?
Yeah, they didn't know they were going to
They didn't
reveal
know they were
that.
gonna
I'm
fuck.
curious about that.
Unless
too.
it's like
Why were people
reruns.
watching that live?
So I forget the episode before the Shannon and Boone was a big the hatch. I think that it was around that time. So I think people were tuning in to be like, oh, what was that thing that they?
Hatch.
and they got that instead.
But they got Shannon and Boone instead.
Of course they did.
That's one of my favorites.
It's a good one.
Oh shoot, my note is a little fucked up. I did not write.
Fooey.
I did not write the actor's full name. Shoot, his last name is Gainey. He's the guy who plays the We'll Take the Boy.
Ah, yes. I know him.
The fisherman.
Yeah, it's like TC Gainey or something?
I don't know his name, but when I saw his face, I was like, it's the guy.
Yeah.
The man.
Yeah, the dude. Not the dude.
The
with
guy.
a capital D.
I found a little
He
excerpt
abides.
where he says he found the fan reaction to his first appearance in the show, a little bit of a spoiler, quote, really tough because, quote, everywhere I went, people would just give me dirty looks and they were like, what are you going to do with that boy?
Oh.
But he noted this gradually improved over time as he stayed on the show. So look forward to that guy more in season 2. And I want to bring up something. A lot of people have messaged me emails about this very specific thing. I have weighed whether to talk to you guys about it because in the moment when the show happened, it gets into spoiler territory for you guys, so I was abstaining from actually saying anything because a lot of people were writing in telling us we were wrong about something. We technically are, but also technically are not wrong. And this is in reference to the episode where Boone gets onto the plane and he gets on the radio and we hear the other person on the other side of the radio. Now, a lot of people are messaging us saying because at the time we were like, oh, the dude on the other side of the radio was saying, there are no survivors for Flight 815. So what the guy, and a lot of people were saying that's not what he says. He says a completely different thing. They are correct. However, the subtitles are the wrong thing. So if you listen to what the guy's saying, he is saying something completely different to what the subtitles are.
Interesting.
It's very different reads. However, what he's saying is close enough to what the subtitles say, where we all, I assume, watch these episodes with subtitles because it's easier to take notes on character names and stuff like that. So if we were looking at the subtitles, oh, he said that, that's going to color your perception. I don't know how to address it, but I wanted people to know that I am aware. I know that that was wrong, but technically you guys aren't wrong. So do you want me to tell you what they really say? What the guy on the radio really says?
Yeah.
I think I just figured some major shit out.
Well, hold on. What does he say?
So the subtitles say there are no survivors of Oceanic Flight 815. What the guy on the radio actually is saying is, no, we are the survivors of Oceanic Flight 815. Which at the time, if you heard that correctly and didn't have subtitles ruining that interpretation for you, would be like, ooh, another mystery. Why would that guy say he's the survivor of Oceanic Flight 815? Clearly that's not someone else on the beach fucking with us, right? What does that mean? That's an interesting mystery, right? But because
fuck the subtitles.
Yeah,
that just completely made me so confused.
Yeah, and that's why in the moment, because Kit, you specifically said like, no, we are not. There are no survivors. If you're reading subtitles, that's 100% what the subtitles say.
I always have subtitles on when I'm taking notes for the show.
And it's one of those things where you know how like sometimes if you read a thing and hear a thing, what you read is what you pick up, not necessarily what you hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a situation like that. And so in the moment I didn't correct you because I was like, it was a gray area for me. But so many people kept writing that into me. And I was like, okay, I'm going to address it on this episode. Huh. And so, so the radio says, no, we are the survivors of Oceanic Flight 815. So what do you guys think that means? Kit, you said you think you unlocked a bunch of stuff. I don't want to say. You don't want to say?
What if it's two things can happen. I'm wrong and everybody's laughing at me. Which is not as important as
man up.
I'm right.
Or you can look at,
I ruined something for all of us by giving my shit confirmed and Madison.
I'm not going to confirm whether you're right or wrong.
I'm also like super confused by it. So like, because now in my head, why was that not? I feel like if we would have known that at the time, it would have changed a lot of how I interpreted the others.
I'm going to look at you while I say this.
Okay.
Steve's actually really good at poker facing, but just in case.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Tunnel vision it, yeah.
Because believe it or not, I've made it this far in life with only hearing Hatch and Smoke Monster. Like, I didn't know Michelle Rodriguez was in this. I didn't even fucking process that Evangeline Lilly was in this. So I know nothing about this show. All I know, people generally do not like how it ends for various reasons that I'm unaware of and don't really matter to me. But what I have been picking up over the last 6 episodes or so is let's put together what we know.
I love this. I love this.
John's legs work. They don't actually work in real life, right? Mm-hmm. So we're on a area of the world where there are magical things going on, but more likely a plane of existence where things like that don't matter or apply, right? Mm-hmm. We've got smoke monsters. We've got security or guardians, right? Mm-hmm. Everyone on this island has committed a major sin of some kind, right? Most of them like really bad, cardinal ones even, like a murder.
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
And then Steve being very pointed about the radio thing, just clicked something for me that what the guy is trying to say is that the people on that flight you're saying you are confirmed to not be alive. Like not only they're not missing, nobody's looking for you because you're not missing. Like we have the bodies, meaning like they're all dead.
So then who's saying that?
I don't know.
Who's saying we are the survivors?
The people that did survive. The people that are not everyone that's on the island.
Oh, so you're saying the 40 people that are on the beach are the dead ones and everyone else is alive?
Well, you didn't tell me what the actual quote was when I thought I revealed that, right? So we're the survivors does not confirm what I'm saying as much as there are no survivors, because there are no survivors would be like, we know that nobody.
So let me just clarify. So the subtitles say there are no survivors of Oceanic Flight.
But the quote is we are.
No, we are the survivors of 815 person speaking.
I'm just getting some kind of hint that where they're at is dead. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that where they are, I think that the island itself is a special place that isn't a part of the real world. I think that there is some like a Bermuda Triangle-esque place that isn't a part, because in my head, we're the survivors to me is a time loop thing. That is my only explanation.
Like they were talking to themselves
at this very moment.
Boone
yes.
was on the other end
or
of that.
like a future self. And it makes sense because Boone's dead in the future. So it's like
an alternate timeline Boone who did not bang his sister.
Who didn't, yeah.
Who would be disgusted by that.
Ew.
And I'm
Shannon.
sure, yeah, like, so I see what you're saying, and I believe what you're saying to be. I'm feeding into that idea as well. I think,
but it's confusing because how do people die if they're already dead? Because there are characters that die, right?
What is dead may never die.
Exactly. Which the only reason I say that is because I have context clues of the ending being disappointing, and that's a terrible end to this show. Because they teach you in high school. Like if I get to the end of your short story, little Jimmy, and it was all a dream, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. That's what the teacher says.
I don't necessarily think it's a dream. I definitely think like
it's like a version of that.
Yeah, but it's so interesting how that tidbit that we mistook. So like, cause that was what episode?
That's massive.
That was like a massive piece that I didn't even realize.
Hunt down the subtitle writers.
I know, what the fuck? That's like
they
major
failed.
Difference.
Sometimes you can tell they're paid like hourly and just don't like if you watch like a
that
lower
would
budget
literally
movie.
be a mistake I make. Or I'm like, you know what?
Fuck with them.
Let me just change this up a little bit.
Something like fan fiction.
Okay, that was a very interesting tidbit to learn.
Yeah.
Now.
Beach, please.
Beach, please.
Is that all the beach, please?
Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
Which brings us to our Mile High Club moments, our top 3 favorite moments of the final episode of season 1. Madison, what is number 3?
My number 3 is remove the towel and the scene where
all the shit you gave me for thirsting after Kate.
Is when Charlie gets hit by the rock and Saeed has to put the gunpowder on his head. I feel like my number 3 always consists of just like not a goofy moment, but a non-serious like moment.
That's where the fun sneaks in.
Yeah, the fun sneaks in at number 3, and it was I thought it was kind of crazy of a thing for them to do, like just randomly. But I was like, you know what? I get it. It's an intense moment. They're on a mission. They got to do what they got to do. Charlie's dedicated, whatever. And then just the pure absurdity of like putting gunpowder in someone's face and then fucking lighting it on fire right near their eyeball is wild to me. So that's my
and
number
then the
3.
Flash when it cuts it right before it cuts away.
And then Charlie's like,
we all everybody. What if he sang it?
drive.
Heroin. I need that right now.
That would have helped.
Hold on. Saeed, before you do this, look away.
Don't look.
I need my nummies.
Steve, what about you?
My number 3 is just the sort of plane retrospective at the end where we see all the characters getting on the plane that is, this journey that is destined to be fateful, right? It's just a nice sort of reminder of where these characters are, where they're going, how much has changed. and what was that? What?
Where are they going?
Well,
Where they been?
where they been? This is their Forrest Gump moment,
That's
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and just that piano. Anytime they use that sort of piano, sad, like "Remember" song that they like to play a lot, it gets me. It gets me. So yeah, that's my number 3. Kit.
Bum, dum, 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 bum, bum, bum.
I like that scene.
It's what is it? Bella's Ballad or something? It's the Twilight song.
Oh.
I don't take that out. My number 3 is the same as Madison's, the gunpowder.
Nice.
I really like the gunpowder
Nice.
scene. I thought it was super well done. It's like it's kind of sort of levity, but it's also pretty intense. Love me some Saeed being used in like, all right, bitch, you want me to? All right, I got a thing I can do.
I can force choke you again. Charlie's like, please.
Charlie's been choked. I don't think he likes that.
Oh, fair.
He was hung. He was hanged. Excuse me. I don't know if he's hung or not.
I'm sure Claire will find out.
I don't know. She's not giving me the vibes so that she wants that, but yeah, that's we agree on that. Madison, you're number 2.
My number 2 is the moment with Michael and Jin. Michael acknowledging the phonetically written notebook that Sun has given Jin to help him speak English on the boat. And just this camaraderie of like acknowledging kind of how far their friendship/relationship has come, where, you know, they used to hate each other's guts, like fought each other, and now they are sparking on this journey to save everybody, and they have their own language. I just thought it was a very touching moment, and then followed up by Michael giving Jin the watch, and then Jin giving it back to Michael, saying like, no, like you take this. It was a very sweet moment between the two of them.
Agreed. Steve.
That's my number 2 as well. Everything you just said, like Jin and Michael are 2 of my like dark horse favorite characters on the show, right? If like there's no Locke being prophetic Locke currently, like I can always count on Michael or Jin to kind of swoop in and be bros. Like I love those characters so much. Kit, what about you? Number 2?
That's my moment as well.
We all everybody.
Jen giving Michael the watch.
Nice.
Wonderful moment. Very good bow on a good symbol for how far their relationship has come. You know, very economical writing. Chef's kiss. Madison, your favorite moment of the finale is what?
My favorite moment of the episode was Steve's number 3, which was the end montage.
Another mystery of the island.
I love a good wrap it all up at the end, kind of going back to the beginning at the end.
Where they going?
Exactly.
Where they
been. I liked, you know, the juxtaposition of like seeing these characters where they are and like how far that they've come to be placed next to where their characters were at the very beginning. It's just, that's a very favorite thing that it's just a thing that I enjoy in writing, where they just reflect on the beginning at the end. And, you know, you had the moment with Shannon and Boone, which was a very touching moment. And then, I just thought it was very good. Good scene.
Steve?
My number 1 sounds like it might not be very well liked among everyone else, but I like this moment because of how important it is to the show. It was because I know where the show's going. I know where it's been. It was just kind of nice to revisit this moment again, because I didn't have too much of I didn't remember it as well as I should have probably. So just being able to revisit it was just Walt's abduction. I do love how it goes from being this happy, joyous, like, yay, we are saved, to immediately, we're going to have to take the boy. Like that is such a right turn to Downersville. Right? When that voice says we're going to have to take the boy, you know it's not going to be a good day. And we get to, it really upends the whole, like, we're being saved. What's going to happen to Walt? What's going to happen to the 3 people floating out in the sea? You know, it's a good sort of, this is the type of like season finale thing that I like about this episode specifically. I think where those characters end at the end of the season is there's a little bit of a cliffhanger, but enough of what just happened? What just happened? Right.
Yeah, I'm so weirded out about where like creepy guys fit into all my, what I feel like's going on, you know?
They're this
because I can see smoke monsters being like there to make sure you don't leave, because you a bad man and you dead and you belong here now. But like, well, we also got rapey guys that hang out just because it's part of the hell part, you know? I don't know.
Maybe those are the people that, like, you know, we're already in hell, right?
I don't know. Like,
first time plane crashing. That's cute.
We're gonna need the dog.
The place.
Yeah, what did Vincent do
for Beetlejuice?
What if they were like, we're gonna need the good boy? Where's that dog? Oh, you left him at the beach. Dang it.
Well, I'm gonna blow you up anyway.
Yeah,
we'll just take the annoying one.
Yeah,
he's the dog whisperer.
Dog whisperer.
What's your number 1, bud?
My number 1, I think I have the same as Madison, every single one. The boarding montage.
We all, everybody.
We too, everybody. Specifically Hurley's thumbs up to Walt, because it's so ironic, because he's like, fucking crushed to do. We're about to have a great time. You know? But I'm so curious. I really do want to watch more of this show immediately. Michelle Rodriguez, what's going on there? Like, there's going to be more characters. There's going to be more... Because this is where Walking Dead kind of, it's reminding me more and more of that. I know that's sacrilegious to most people probably, but like when they run into like the governor and that whole other faction and things kind of just get drastically different. It's no longer just zombies and cop guy and buddies. You know, it's like people are the real monster or whatever. And now it's kind of cooking up that way on the island. It's no longer how we're going to survive the island or get off the island. It's we got hillbillies. Oh no. That's the worst.
Oh man, guys, we crash landed in Florida.
Crikey.
Exactly.
Crikey, look at him over there.
Shannon, oh my God.
Oh my God. He's like so gross. It's like kind of cute.
I kind of want to slum it. Yeah, so that's my number one, which brings us to the Passenger Princess nomination for the finale, which is interesting. I haven't even picked mine yet.
Wow.
Yeah. This was tough.
I think I got to go with Daddy.
Daddy? Who's Daddy?
It's disappointing, the answer. Madison.
Mine is Aaron the baby. No, I'm kidding. I chose Jorge Garcia.
Ooh, very nice.
I think the montage scene where he is going through the airport. I mean, he just always brings this energy of like goofiness, but also like he's such a relatable character. And I feel like in this instance, it's just like one thing after another keeps happening to him. It was a very prominent scene that kind of set up like the irony of him getting on the plane and then just kind of feeding into him seeing the numbers on the hatch, which, you know, leads to this big, you know, explosion and, you know, stuff like that. So I think he was a very prominent character this episode. And that's why he's my passenger princess.
Interesting. I really like that. I think that's the answer, but it's not mine. But I think it's the best answer. Steve, what about you though? You could change my mind.
So my pick for Passenger Princess might surprise some of you guys. I just am a huge fan of this actor in general. This character is always fun. And I think this was a great showcase for them in an episode where a lot of people are doing a lot of stuff. But I'm going to give it to Harold Perrineau, who plays Michael. Just because like
he was on my list as well.
Was he?
Mm-hmm. He was my number 2.
Yeah. I mean, the whole point of like him being like the leader of the boat boys. And is this the episode where he and Walt are on where he teaches Walt how to do the rudder? Was that the last episode?
I think that was the last episode.
Okay, well, him like talking to Jen and all that stuff, and then even when they're like what do we do? There's a ping on the radar. Do I launch the flare? I don't know, man. There's the last flare, and he has that line where it's like, God, I hope we're right. Like I really felt his anxiety, and then just him going from this high of being rescued to, wait, what are you guys doing? And then obviously his crying like, Walt, you know, I just really like that character. I love that actor's energy. And so I'm going to give it to Harold one last time.
Give it to old Harry.
One last time.
For season 1. I'm going to, excuse me. Oh, I got choked up thinking about it. I think I got to give it to Terry O'Quinn. One last time.
Terry.
He's just my guy. I think that it's such an interesting dynamic with, you know, you think Jack's the main character and then you realize he's annoying, and then Sawyer's the main character kind of, and then like Locke's always this Omega Man hovering around the entire show. And he has some really interesting character turns in this episode specifically, where he puts a beloved character in harm's way, and his faith is shaken and then stronger than ever. And I think the future of the show heavily depends on Locke. You asked earlier about some of our kind of predictions for the rest of the show. I think splitting into 2 camps, not just the others and our guys, but our guys splitting into 2 camps. You know, one team following Jack and one team following Locke is the future, at least for season 2, is what I expect a lot of. So
I could see that.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to Terry O'Quinn, but I love your choices. And that's the end of that.
I've got something special for you guys in terms of Passenger Princess.
Oh, yeah.
Stats McSteve.
Stats McSteve.
Stats McSteve's coming in hot.
Stats McSteve.
I have gone and crunched the numbers. The numbers. We're about to talk about them.
Numbers.
Do you guys want to know some fun facts about our Passenger Princess statistics?
Please.
Yes.
Okay, let me look here,
please.
because I've been updating them live with the last couple episodes we've been reviewing. So I had them all laid out. Let me just see if anything's changed. So do you want to know who has won the most Passenger Princesses?
Can I guess?
You can, absolutely.
I want to say it's Terry O'Quinn.
You would be correct. Including Kit's win today.
Was that the tiebreaker?
Terry O'Quinn. Actually, it was a tiebreaker. It was close. So Terry O'Quinn has won Passenger Princess 10 times this season.
Meaning one of the,
like each of our votes is a vote.
Yeah.
So one of us has given it to Terry O'Quinn 10 times.
Yeah, we did.
Do you want to know who the second place person was? This one might be harder for you guys to guess.
I don't know who it would be.
Because it's actually kind of surprising.
I'm going to say Josh Holloway.
It is Josh Holloway.
Wow, I'm so good.
With 9. So yesterday, Josh Holloway wasn't second at all. He was like tied for 4th, but we gave him an we all everybody last episode. He got 3 points. That shot him up to 9 points. That means
I almost gave it to him
too.
again. That would have been funny. He would have been the winner.
He would have.
Wiener. But I think Terry Quinn is more representative of how we all felt.
Wiener, chicken tea.
Do you want to know who everybody voted for the most?
Like each of us?
Yeah.
I think mine's Terry O'Quinn.
You were tied with Terry O'Quinn and Josh Holloway. You have both given it to them 4 times each.
Okay. Yeah, you have.
Madison has a 3-way tie. You have given it to Terry O'Quinn, Matthew Fox, and Josh Holloway 3 times each. My clear winner with 4 times is Evangeline Lilly.
My dude.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm the one. Everyone's standing Evangeline Lilly over there on that side of the table. I'm the one actually giving her points.
You're right. You're right.
So over the course of the entire run of our season 1 coverage, there have been 10 We All Everybody Passenger Princess segments, 2 of which, though, only featured Kit and I. So if we don't want to count the 2 where it's just 2 hosts, it's actually 8. Terry O'Quinn got 2 We All Everybodies. Matthew Fox got 1. Emily de Ravine got 1. Harold Perrineau got 1. Dominic Monaghan got 1. Josh Holloway got 2, including last episodes. And then the 2 that Kit and I gave We All Everybody to, and it was just the 2 of us hosting, was Naveen Andrews and Evangeline Lilly. And then if you guys want to kind of break it down even more, I can tell you how many times everybody's won one.
Sure.
A little trip down memory lane. We mentioned Locke, Terry O'Quinn got 10 votes. Evangeline Lilly got 7 votes, 4 of which were mine, just saying. Matthew Fox got 6. Dominic Monaghan 6. Josh Holloway 6. Naveen Andrews got 5. Harold Perrineau got 5. Daniel Day Kim at 4. Yunjin Kim at 3. Jorge Garcia at 4. Emily de Ravine 3. I will say it was just her 1 episode.
Yeah.
We gave her a We All Everybody. So that's where all of her points come from. Ian Somerhalder got 2 points. And then from there, it's a little interesting. L. Scott Caldwell, who plays Rose, Kit gave her that. And Andrea Gabriel, who plays Nadia, also a Kit.
You're welcome.
Mira Furlon, who plays Danielle, was a vote I gave her. And I also gave a vote to Nick Tate, the farmer who turned Kate in from Tabula Rasa. He got 1 from me.
Nice.
For the 23 grand?
For the 23 grand, yep. Yeah. So We All Everybody, that has been the history of season 1's Passenger Princesses. I thought that would be fun to sort of revisit how we voted.
Yeah.
Are there any mysteries we need to add or solve for Lost and Found at one final time?
I feel like yes. Who are the weird Fisher people?
Well, yeah.
Like what's going on?
Yeah, what is going on there?
Why do they want Walt?
Yeah, why do they want Walt?
Sure.
Why do they want the special boy?
Special boy, special good boy.
Anything solved?
We still have to figure out what's in that hatch.
I don't think we've solved what's in the hatch. I don't think that's fair to say.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else.
Exactly. That's what makes it such a weird finale. Is nothing was solved.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything with Danielle?
We already know that they took her kid, and she kind of says "Hey, I took Aaron because I was trying to get my kid back."
Yeah.
Why don't you read through the mysteries?
Yeah, let's go through the mysteries one last time. What is the monster?
Smoke.
We can add we can edit that to what is the black smoke monster?
Yeah.
Black smoke monster. What happened to the plane? Why is there a pair?
Oh, you calling it the black smoke monster changes things because that implies that they set that fire to unleash the beast.
Oh, the pillar of smoke? Is that you're referring
kind
to?
of. I mean, that connects it more.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of a gray smoke monster in my reckoning, and yet
There's still a part of me that believes, not to like just dive back into the coverage, but there's still a part of me that believes that Danielle just lit that and like had it as a hoax to get the baby.
You just really don't trust French people.
I guess not.
Oh, we get
But
it.
I didn't know we
anyway,
hosted the show with Enza. Yeah, what happened to the plane? Why is there a polar? Why are there polar bears on the island?
Did we answer that?
No.
We haven't answered why they're there.
We kind of think Walt can manifest it. The show implied that.
Sure, but did he manifest that bird, or was the bird just attracted to him because he was thinking about the bird?
I get there's a slight difference between those two things.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there since you have more knowledge than me.
Yes. Where are they? What are Kate's crimes? We don't know what her impetus crimes are, why she originally is on the run. We know she got Tom killed, but we don't know why she was on the run to begin with.
Yeah.
It wasn't the bank robbery. That was after she was already on the run.
Mm-hmm.
Why did the monster spare Locke? We do have why is Locke so secretive?
I think we
can probably get rid of that one because he didn't think everybody was ready is kind of, I think, the general idea. We do have what's Jack's deal, professional and personal.
I think we can.
We can probably get rid of that one too.
That one.
Yeah, daddy issues. That's his deal.
Yeah.
Professional and personal.
I am curious what Jack's crime is.
Like what? Why is?
I don't think it's worth
serving
writing
a
down.
penance?
I don't know. Yeah, like what did he? He didn't do anything wrong. He told on his dad like he was supposed to. He stood up for that.
Maybe we
He's
just don't
divorced. Why did he get divorced? Maybe that's why.
know. Maybe.
Maybe he cheated.
Ooh, that snake.
Stinker. That stinker.
Why can John Locke walk again? Where are the hairbrushes? That's, I think, the biggest mystery we have.
I think that needs to stay.
Yeah, we're keeping that for sure. Where is Jack's father's body? I'm gonna edit that to where is Christian's body because we know his name now. Mm-hmm. And Jack's father's body is just a mouthful. Jack's father's body is a mouthful. You know what I'm saying? Who were the dead people in the caves? Do you remember those?
Oh yeah.
There were skellies in there.
Yeah. Who were the others?
Probably the slaves that got out of that ship.
Maybe.
The Black Rock.
What took the French people? Like the illness that took them?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Alex, Danielle's child?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
What is that cable Saeed was following? Or what? Yeah, what is that cable for?
Yeah.
Why does Ethan / the others want Claire's baby?
Or just want children.
They seem to want children.
Let's edit that to why do they
Which
want
is another
children?
Game of Thrones thing. Like the others always take Craster's babies.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I gotta stress that those books were published when this was written.
You are right. You are right. Who is Ethan? What's up with that psychic? You know, Claire's psychic. Like, what was his deal? Do we want to? Like, why did he seem to know?
So intuitive?
Yeah. Why does he know that everything's so bad?
Well, I mean, now we know that there's just supernatural stuff in this universe.
I mean, I don't know if
Willy-nilly.
that will ever get answered.
Should I take it off?
What do you
Keep it
think?
on?
What do you think?
I think we don't need to. I don't think that's a mystery that I care about at all. I think I just have to assume that the writers threw in a psychic for her episode because Walt has powers and Hurley has some mystical stuff going on with the numbers.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you think in your recollection the psychic comes back again for more deep Claire
I
stuff,
think we could get rid of it.
okay.
Okay.
I think it probably does come back, but it's not an important thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like oh my God, the psychic was behind it all along.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. He paid the
Jack
actors.
cheated on his wife with the psychic?
Oh no!
Oh no.
Well, he's a real dog of a bloke. What's in the hatch?
Yeah.
What happened to
That
Charlie
stays.
with Ethan? Why was he comatose? What does the French translation mean? We can get rid of that. We could have gotten rid of that one a long time ago, right? Because they translate it into I forget exactly what, but they did translate that.
Did Danielle attack Claire?
Oh, that's one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Claire kind of remembers.
Yeah, what's going on with the scratches? That needs to be added.
Yeah.
That we added last time.
just scratches question mark.
Claire. Scratches.
Cat scratch fever.
We know what Kate's plane is. We can take that off. That's the toy that
Tom's toy.
It's Tommy's toy. What's Walt's power? What exactly happened to Claire and how did she escape? The numbers, just in general. Where
What do they mean?
where did Rousseau move? we were very concerned that she blew up her house. Like, where's she going?
Where's she living? I feel like we can get rid of that.
You want to get rid of that one?
I mean,
I'm okay with that one.
Yeah.
It's not as serious as where the hairbrushes are.
Yeah, that's very serious. We need to know that one. What is Hurley's relationship with the mental institution? Yeah.
Let's keep that.
Who picked up on Boone's radio transmission?
Very important.
Let's change that to who's on the other side of Boone's radio transmission.
Welcome to hello
The
to
other
the other side.
Bring up some Adele. What do they want with Walt, and did Daniel attack Claire? Scratches. Yep. So that is the end of the season. Those are our lost and found, the mysteries that have yet to be resolved.
The mysteries of the island that have yet to be revealed.
Yes. Thank you.
We need to put that on the board too whenever we solve one. Another mystery of the island revealed.
Oh, yes.
Now we have some questions from our patrons as to our coverage for Lost and some extra stuff they can ask us. Steve, you got them, don't you?
Yeah, I solicited a bunch of the people in our Discord.
Wrote them in a bottle.
They wrote them in a bottle. Sawyer did read them ahead of time, just giving you a heads up. He's that's just how he be.
Yeah.
But yes.
He's a cretin.
He's a cretin. I solicited the Discord for questions. You can become a member of the Streaming Things Discord by signing up a Patreon at the appropriate tier. Our first question comes in from John, not John Locke, just
Hi,
John. John says, I have two questions, both around Vincent the dog. Number one, how has Vincent remained such a thick boy? that dog eating good.
He's eating lots of nanners and Lord knows what.
Boar. Yeah, that's why the boar,
not as much boar recently.
That's why the boar have gone missing. It's because
he's just taking them down.
Yeah.
Like every day, Walt's like, "Oh, Vincent's back," and it's just like a bloody, gory dog. What happened? Number two, how does Vincent look like he just got back from the groomers every day that he's been living on this deserted island?
I mean, they all look very
well
bathed and well put together.
I think Claire's giving him a snip, just like when Charlie's done, she gets Vinny.
I think it's just the movie magic of the situation.
Yeah.
Well,
actually, so my dog Ellie, you know Ellie.
I know Ellie.
She hates people.
She's by my feet.
I've never taken her to a groomer because her hair does not grow. And I think it grows out of her sheer will to not go to the groomers.
That's fair.
Because I told her once, like, if you grow hair, I'm taking you to groomers. And she was like, nope. Suck it all back in.
She's willing it to not grow.
Yeah. By sheer force of will, you'd be amazed what animals can do. John does continue. He writes, also as a side note, and I don't want to influence this, but the episode where the raft leaves the island and Vincent swims after Walt, Madison the dog is my passenger princess. So yeah, John is nominating. I'm going to put that on the passenger princess
You
board.
should do it.
John, 1 point from John for Madison the dog.
The dog.
Our next question comes from E. Scramo, one of the legendary Scramo sisters. She writes, hey, Steve, potential Lost question. If you had to choose two characters from Lost to be trapped on the island with, who would you choose to explore your hatch and why?
Interesting.
You didn't expect the question to end like that, did you?
I mean, that's where I was going to take it.
I mean, the Scrabo sisters know.
They know.
They know.
That's why they love the show.
They real ones.
We got a bunch of weirdos in the Discord, and I love it. I'm going to say the obvious, Kate. And now, should I be practical? Is there somebody that would help me survive?
I mean, you're trapped on an island. What are you going to do?
Immediately.
Immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to get, can I choose Michelle Rodriguez's character, Ana Lucia?
I mean, I guess you could. I mean, it's our show. We can do whatever we want.
She's not, in this very moment, she's canon dead right now, so.
Kate and Sawyer.
Kate and Sawyer.
Josh Holloway, yeah.
I don't know if I would want to have that.
I don't know if I want that
They're
either.
going to be all over each other, and it's going to be like, guys,
I think they would hang out with me.
Third wheeling over there.
You choose what you're going to do. I chose what I chose.
Okay, all right.
I like to read. He's got all the aspirins and lotions and stuff.
You're going to be the one coming up from behind Sawyer, like rubbing your hands on that coconut oil. Like, all
Here's
right,
what you don't know
ready
about
to get
me,
oiled
guys.
up, buddy?
Sawyer's lonely, right?
You see it in his eyes.
I'm going to warm right up to him.
You could fix
Kate's
him.
not going to be able to get in there. We're going to be thick as thieves.
Yeah.
Thick as thieves, as you would say.
Thieves.
We would let her in, though.
Madison.
Mine is Kate and Saeed immediately.
Ooh, stupid, sexy Saeed.
Because I feel like the dynamic there, I feel like I could work with both of them pretty well, and both of them could work really well. Like, I just feel like the
I almost
dynamic.
picked Saeed.
I feel like the dynamic would be, I feel like the dynamic would be we'd be very proactive group, but we'd also be very like
Active.
chill. Well, yeah, that too. And they're very beautiful people to look at. So, yeah.
Well, we have to be cognizant when we're choosing our people here that they're exploring our hatches with us. So you have to be able to be open and, share everything with them if they're going to be exploring hatches with each other.
It's true.
That's why I'm also going to pick Saeed, because not only
Yeah.
but bro's a survivor and he will help me survive on
I'm
that
a
trap.
survivor. I'm not going to give up.
And then I think
Work harder.
out of everybody else, I think I'm going to go with Boone.
Okay.
I just need a yes man to follow me around.
All right. That's fair. That's fair.
Like when Saeed and I are like, when Saeed's like, hey, let's go reveal some mysteries of the island. I could be like, Boone, light us a fire and make us dinner. And he'd be like, yes, sir.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good question.
choices.
I like that.
Next question comes from Parmadad. Parmadad asks, during episode 10,
Whoa.
Steve points out a plot hole created by Hurley's island census in that Ethan isn't the only person whose name isn't on the flight manifest, since Sawyer is lying about his true identity as well. My theory is that this happened because Sawyer was originally supposed to be revealed as the interloper of the group, but the showrunners changed their minds mid-production, possibly liking the character or Josh Holloway's performance. It explains why a randomly added character in Ethan was revealed as having not been on the plane. Whereas a more established character would have had a bigger impact. And having already been on the island further explains Sawyer's hoarding. What do you guys think? So do you think that there's a possibility that Sawyer's original interpretation...
That's just completely his theory. It's not known for sure that their
that's just
writer's
his theory.
intention.
That's just his theory.
Interesting. I think it's more likely that they fucked up.
I think that's more valid.
Because creators of TV and films don't always care if they fuck up. It's like as somebody who has created things, sometimes you're like, nobody's going to notice, or that's not as important. When I interviewed Robert Rodriguez, I think I've told this story before, but he said, Madison, cover your ears. Continuity schmontinuity is a direct quote from Robert Rodriguez. He's like, it literally doesn't matter as much as telling the story you want to tell. Bunch of fucking nerds worry about that stuff.
Interesting, Robert Rodriguez.
And he's not like an Oscar-winning director or anything, but
True.
he's made some movies I really like.
Yeah.
Spy Kids.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Desperado. Anybody?
I love that one.
Half of From Dusk Till Dawn. Anybody?
That half, yeah.
But that's my theory, is that they messed up, and weren't super concerned about people noticing.
Yeah, I don't know if they necessarily... I feel like the intention with Sawyer post episode 10, has been very... I don't know, it's just hard for me to see him as the Ethan character in this regard, personally.
I do agree that the Ethan reveal would have been way better if they had Ethan, just that character, be a bigger presence.
Not like an
so
artist.
like the turn would have been like, whoa, my gosh, what? Well, that's nuts. Like that would have been really much more impactful. But I agree with you, Kit, that this was just a mistake, because this is a show that has so many goddamn mysteries floating around in it and a ton of characters. So I can see where easily you could like write yourself into a corner, and then like as you're on set filming the episode, you're like, oh shit, Sawyer's a fake name. Fuck. Especially when some of these episodes are being written and released in different orders that they were originally intended to. We've talked about that a couple times.
Yeah. I could see them not even realizing that he's using a fake name and he wouldn't be on the manifest.
Well, there's just so many, I don't want to say cooks in the kitchen, because I do feel like there is I'm not as familiar with the writing process for like TV, but I can imagine that there's so many moving parts that it's hard for people to focus on those tiny details enough to where it it makes sense, like chronologically or anything like that. Like I can understand the mess ups for this type of, for TV in this way, coming out in 2004, a quick turnaround with episodes. Like I get that.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not even a mess up. It's a pivot.
Yeah.
They can, because they're writing the season as it's coming out.
Yeah.
And so back then, and you would literally just go in different directions when people, the reviews for episode 13 are in. They fucking hated that. We're not doing that anymore. That happens all the time.
Yeah, and you can imagine a world where they can also hand wave away. We're like, well, Sawyer's a con man. Of course, he's not going to put his real name on a manifest. It's going to be James Sawyer or something, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I don't think you can get away with that unless you have a fake passport. But maybe.
Who knows? I mean, the Robert Patrick could have given him a fake passport.
True.
Yeah, I mean, he's the Terminator.
Yeah.
Our next question comes from Enza. Our beloved Enza.
Unfortunately, it is written in Belgish.
Yeah,
so.
I can't read it. She writes.
Do you speak Belgish?
No.
Belgish. She goes, okay, I've got a question for you all. If you haven't recorded yet, what is the mystery you were most invested in, and what is the one you could have gone without? So what mystery had you, it like hooked you, you kept you watching, and which one were you like, I don't give a shit about this mystery at all. Let's get it over with. Those were my words, not hers.
I'm really into the hatch, right?
Yeah, you are.
I really need to know what's in that. I don't care about the supernatural stuff. I wish it wasn't there sometimes.
Special boy Walt?
Walt specifically. Why do you have powers? But even smoke monsters, none of that stuff.
Okay. All right. Madison?
I feel like I'm now realizing that I really don't care about the hatch. That might be kind of an unpopular opinion.
Wow.
But to me, I just am kind of like, I'm more invested in like the people before. I'm more invested in Russo. I'm more invested in like that. Because to me, that's kind of just the origins of like that's going to be the origins of like the conflict that they're going to meet in season 2, season 3, whatever. Maybe not. But I guess just the origin of the island, like what is the island? So I guess to flip flop, I am more interested in like the supernatural element.
What if they're all in the hatch, bitch? Then you're going to feel
surprise, we come down here.
But I guess just like, I think it's just the obsession with like this one thing. And like, this is like, this one thing is like the answer to like, this will solve like the obsession and like whatever. I don't know. I'm just kind of like me, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I would say that's a more unpopular opinion thing to be obsessed over. I also, I'm trying to think of other like mysteries that I didn't really care for. I guess I was invested when Claire was taken. I was like, oh shit, like what did they do to her? What do they want with the baby?
Mm-hmm. The baby.
Yeah.
I gotta say, so the Claire of it all, the mystery behind like why they take Claire, what happened to Claire, that's actually the mystery I'm the least interested in.
Oh. Yeah.
Just because that's also, I feel like, the most poorly handled mystery so far in the series, because I mean that was when like, Ethan took her, he's dead now.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about it. And that's to me, that kind of the way they're presenting that story is kind of annoying and turns me off. But like, I'm super into what that hatch is. I'm super into like, what is the deal with this island? What is that black smoke monsters deal?
Yeah.
Those are the mysteries that I'm super into. Our last question, and this is a good segue into something I know we want to talk about. Bluffpum writes, just begging them to give me some updates on their lost viewing experience in future pod episodes. Doesn't need to be a full episode. I just need to know how happy or frustrated they are as the show goes on.
Yeah, I mean, I think people that are really close to the show in the sense that they're in the Discord and talk to us a lot either know for sure or have a sense that we're not going to continue doing episode by episode coverage of Lost moving forward. And I'm very sorry to the many thousands of you that have stuck by us throughout this awkward coverage interrupted by a 4-month-long strike. Mm-hmm. We will 100%, I know Madison and I plan on continuing to binge this show immediately, and we will check in periodically.
Yeah, I'm going to rewatch the show now too.
With our thoughts.
I can't fucking wait.
But we will not be doing episode by episode coverage. And there's a very practical reason for that. I think there are thousands of you that are invested and that are loving us covering this show, but many thousands less than are normally invested in our show because of the strike. The
strike really hurt us. So when we first started doing Lost coverage, we were doing really great numbers. And then when we came back from the strike, I think what happened was everyone started watching Lost with us. And then the strike happened and they kept watching it without us. And they're just not returning back.
Which I understand.
The coverage.
Great
totally
show.
Understandable. Yeah.
Totally get it. Yeah.
Like you've binged all the seasons and we're still like, well, House of the Rising Sun. How was that one?
Yeah. And that wouldn't be fun to listen to because you watched that 3 months ago or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on. That's a decision we've made. We have to go with, because we can see how many people are subscribed to the show versus how many people listen to each episode. And really, it looks like, quick math, about 70% of our listeners are not interested in Lost, which is a huge number we cannot ignore. But also more than that, there's an SEO factor. People that aren't necessarily subscribed listen to a lot of our stuff. They're not doing that anymore either, which means a huge part of our audience just does not care about Lost. So with that being said, we've made some hard decisions. We will check back in with Lost coverage, but we have a plan for 2024. Hopefully it's as exciting to you guys as it is to us. Next week, we're going to be knocking out more of our patron demanded movies. So that's going to be Action USA. It's going to be Tenet, and it's going to be Kung Pao. So we're going to move much faster through our patron demanded movies in the interim. We're also starting, finally, a Star Wars marathon series.
Yay.
So we're watching all 11 Star Wars movies. Is there 11?
There have been 12 theatrical releases. We are not watching the Clone Wars movie because I don't feel like that counts as a movie.
I didn't even know that existed.
It's just the first 3 episodes of the Clone Wars stitched together into a movie.
Yeah.
So there is 11 then.
So yeah, the original trilogy, prequel trilogy, sequel trilogy, Solo, and Rogue One.
Woo! So we're doing that with Phil, friend of the show, who is a Star Wars nerd like Steve, right? And I've listened to you guys in Madison talking about like really obscure Star Wars races and stuff. And so that's why I thought of
Check
Phil.
out the best of episode where Madison decided to name all these alien species from Star Wars.
My creative brain with that.
Yeah.
Binks my
it.
bussy.
Binks my bussy. That's a good one.
So I am excited for the Star Wars coverage. Directly after that, by the time we finish all the patron demanded movies and finish all of the Star Wars movies, it will be April. Where a new show debuts on Prime Video called Fallout, based on the popular video game. So much like what we did with Last of Us, Jimmy will be on that episode as a dork.
Because that show is based off a video game, Fallout.
And he's a big gamer.
We got to bring our gamer boy back.
Around the same time or shortly after, I forget, something happens, but House of the Dragon Season 2 will come out in the summer.
So will The Boys Season 4.
And The Boys Season 4. We plan on doing both of those. Maybe Madison will be available for The Boys coverage.
Maybe.
That would be wonderful. House of the Dragon might see us return with Andy. We don't know.
Yeah, we're still planning that stuff out.
He's cogitating, but that's happening for sure.
Yes, so we're going to be doing Fallout, The Boys Season 4, House of the Dragon Season 2. We're also going to be we're going to review the first season of Game of Thrones in the lead up to House of the Dragon Season 2. We just have to...
If we can schedule that somehow, yeah.
We'll be able to schedule it. We just have to know when they plan on releasing House of the Dragon Season 2 because there's no release date on it yet. So
somebody leaked that it was June for The Boys Season 4, but that's not even confirmed.
Yeah.
So we're operating based on that fake knowledge.
Yes.
But we also are going to cover Arcane Season 1 in the fourth quarter because Arcane Season 2 comes out, I think, November. And I'm obsessed with that show.
I love that show.
It's a great show.
If you'd love to be there, we'd love to have you. That's happening. We're also changing the show a little bit yet again, sort of, in the sense that everything's the same, but we're changing the tiers on the Patreon a little bit. We wanted you guys to know this moving forward.
It's not set in stone. We're still working out some minor kinks, but there is a big thing we want to address with you guys, just knowing that it's coming.
A planned shift. So we're open to much feedback. Absolutely. streamingthingspod@gmail.com. If you're not directly communicating with us in Discord, the one of the tiers allows you to mandate movies. That's a big thing. We find that those episodes don't do super great.
It depends on what they are. Like if it's a Jurassic Park, it'll do great. But if it's another movie that's maybe not so well known, they do terribly.
Yeah. So, but we really enjoy doing those.
Yes, they're so fun.
Because sometimes they make us watch stuff we wouldn't otherwise or revisit something we wouldn't normally. And it's so much fun. And we like that direct communication with our patrons. So we're trying to find a way to make good business sense, but continue doing that. So what we've thought of is removing that option from the tier, but then maybe still doing it in the form of an extra poll each month or something like that.
Essentially, you can submit a movie that goes into a bank, and then when we have if there's a week between the season 4 of The Boys and Hot D, and we have an extra week where we don't have something else, we'll pluck one of the movies from that pool of films that you guys suggested.
Yes, that's our plan to keep that going in some form where it's like not less work for us, but less work a little bit because it's a ton.
Yeah, because the big thing moving forward, so the year 2024 is going to be a huge year for streaming things. We have a lot of stuff planned, and the name of the game this year is growth. We really want to grow the show, and in order to do that, we need to review the biggest movie or the biggest TV shows, try to get new audiences, new people to join, and the way to do that is cover TV shows in tandem. And we weren't able to do that last year because of the strike.
That's where we've had categorical growth. Stranger Things season 4 was our big jump. And then we gain listeners with every big IP, you know, House of the Dragon, Last of Us, even Rings of Power, Yellow Jackets. We pick up people each time. The Lost thing was just like we're going to take a break, do something the listeners have been demanding for a long time. And then the strike fucked us. It's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault at all. It just is what it is. And so we're getting back to our big IP thing is our goal for 2024. And that's laid out the way that we told you. But we do, there's a lot of Crossing Streams fans out there. And we have a form of that planned as well for patrons only that Steve and I are going to watch movies each week and talk about new stuff only on the Patreon.
Yeah. And that will replace the chosen aspect of that perk. Instead of like being able to see your movie like on the main feed, you will instead get like a Kit and Steve exclusive went to the movies and we're reviewing new stuff.
So that's what's planned for the rest of the year. I hope you guys are as excited about all of that as we are. We wanted to reveal it to you on the finale episode. If you're still listening, wonderful. Definitely give us your feedback and let us know. But also we're going to South by Southwest, just to reiterate that. So that'll be a huge part of March. We'll be in Austin at the film festival.
So excited for you guys.
Doing live coverage there. Who knows what kind of interviews and stuff we'll be able to get on and put on the show. Maybe nothing. We don't know.
But that week, what week is that? It's the 8th through the 14th is when we're going.
Yeah.
So that week of March, you'll still get your daily dose of the Star Wars marathon, but then expect whatever craziness we were able to come up with from South by Southwest.
Yeah, we're seeing
that week.
Sydney Sweeney's Immaculate, Monkey Man, The Fall Guy,
Roadhouse,
Cuckoo, Roadhouse, fucking Omni Loop, and 10 other things. It's gonna be awesome. Super
I'm
excited.
excited for you guys.
Me too.
It'll be so fun.
Booked our Comfort Plus seats this morning. I paid for it with my own money. So you can be comfy boy.
Comfy boy.
But to everybody who has stuck with us throughout this, and we lost a lot of our listeners during the strike, but we like gained a bunch of patrons. And what that means is like the people that really care wanted to show that they extra care. And that means the world to us.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
You know, the people that do financially support the show, you're literally the only reason it exists. Cause you know, all the stuff, all the toys that you see, if you're looking at the Spotify video or the YouTube, super expensive. Steve uses your money for that.
Literally the reason we're able to go to South by Southwest is because you guys are helping us.
Could not afford to go do that without the Patreon. So we're super excited to see how the show grows in 2024. It's all because of you. If you're not financially supporting the show, dude, we totally get it. Just listening right now is a huge support. People always, I've said this before, people always write in and apologize profusely for having to leave the Patreon because they know that we can see that. Never do that. We consider it a boon, a gift, an extra thing when people toss us money, not a prerequisite. Like, we totally understand. Life's crazy in general and extra special crazy right now in the economy.
Yep.
Never apologize for that. Somebody was like, yeah, we just had a baby. And oh my God, stop.
Love that baby.
Yeah, I wish I could help you financially. Right. That's amazing. Congratulations. Yeah, we love you guys so much. Here's to the future. Thank you for tuning in. That's all the time we have for right now. It's the Super Bowl. Woo! My name is Kit.
My name's Madison.
And I'm Steve.
And we have to go return some videotapes. You thought I wasn't going to say that, but I did.
Got it in.
And this was Streaming Things.